So what do you have against toes?
It's not having anything against toes. I'm just not a pro-toe guy. Certain men are pro-toe. It's a very passionate topic.
So like you take home like an absolute 10, right? Like a Megan Good. You seen Megan Good recently?
Fam. But she's always been
she's a
wonderful.
baddie. She had a little bit of a shaky period, but then it got bad again.
It was never shaky. Bro.
It was a bit
Relax.
shaky. There was a midpoint.
Relax.
Who is
It
this?
was never shaky. Bro.
Megan Good. Oh, you don't know about Black Queens? Oh, so
No. Megan Good is.
her name's got to be Shoshana, yeah?
That's what it is.
Honorary Nigerian. You don't know who Megan Good is?
I don't know.
He's a fraud,
That's
isn't
where
it?
the honorary status comes in. I'm not True Blood.
Yeah. So a baddie like Megan Good comes up to you, but she's just got like bunions on top of corns on top of like...
Yeah, listen, I'm not trying to... I'm not.
And
I'm
that's
not,
cool.
Bro, do you know who had awful feet?
Who?
Awful.
Wow.
Absolutely awful.
You know this is a podcast.
Yeah, but you're going to bleep it out, right?
Uh,
I just assumed you were.
Good luck.
I'm a bit liberal with
On,
the editing
on
these
our
days.
podcast, I can't really chat the shit like I want to, but here,
Yeah,
I
you
thought,
can.
you know what, I can, but you bleep
Yeah,
it
you
out.
can.
Yeah, we'll find
No,
out.
I
in the
won't.
edit.
You're not going to bleep it out?
No,
You're
no.
going to leave her name in there?
No, we take the piss out of ex-girlfriends here. That's
Yeah,
how
I
we,
think
that's how we
you're
do
awful.
it.
Yeah,
you know,
we
you
do.
get me talking about my exes, and it gets emotional here.
It's very sticky.
It really
Listen,
does.
I'm not seeking out women with terrible feet. I'm just not particularly keen. Like, if a girl is a 6 or a 7 out of 10, she's not going up a point if her nails are painted. I haven't got that criteria
you
set
are-
about
Yeah,
me.
bro, you need to.
Yeah, you're
you
not
need to change
involved.
that, bro.
You're not
What
involved.
do you mean I'm not evolved?
You're not
You're looking
involved.
at feet. How am I not evolved?
That's Neanderthal behavior.
So go like if you're drawing a thing on in a bar and she says she's a chiropodist, are you on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that's sexy to you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the weird one. I'm not the weird one on this sofa.
Right. Girl comes up to you at a bar and she says she wants to push your cuticles back.
That's very attractive, bro.
Oh!
If she's like, baby, I got verrucas covered.
Yeah,
They're
nah.
coming
not
off.
verrucas, not verrucas. Let's get the throat going.
Pause.
After all this toe sucking chat, fam, man's
yeah,
moving
calm down,
like
man.
Yeah, I deserve that.
mad cuts.
I deserve that.
You definitely did, bro.
Yeah.
It's a safe space, but still.
Not that safe.
Nah. This
Good.
And
terribly mad gunshots episode 33.
That's right, baby. That's right.
hey,
We are back. He's so unhip hop.
do you know what I mean?
Sorry.
This Kid and Terribly, your boys recording live from Bow.
East London, what's up?
It's your boy Abs, it's your boy Johnny, and we have a very special guest. It's another one of the family, actually. And I actually mean that. I know that some non-black people get a bit confused when I say things like, when we say things like fam and bruv.
But is
this
he-
is
but
actual
is he
bloodline.
like- Is he actually your cousin?
No,
Or
this is an actual bloodline. This is
Oh.
this is bro. This is
Okay.
actual bro.
Okay.
Peter Abiade from Rhymes Like Dimes podcast, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
know that's right.
Hey,
I know that's right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're finally in the hot seat.
Yeah,
We
man.
made it happen. This was actually supposed to happen November,
November, yeah, around about.
Episode
but yeah.
29?
But man said the vid had other ideas.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But you're here. We finally made it happen. How are you? Welcome.
I'm very well, man. I'm happy to be here. We're looking forward to coming on, man, and experiencing this fantastic podcast.
Yeah. We are doing bits, but you guys are also doing bits. Rhymes Like Dimes podcast. If you remember a few episodes ago, my other brother Yemi was here. You guys understand what they do and what they're about. But obviously, let's do a bit of publicity. Go check out Rhymes Like Dimes podcast. It's bad. And here we are. But before I crack on, shout out to all of our Spotify listeners.
Yes.
Shout out to all of our Amazon Music listeners.
Yes.
All of our Apple Podcast listeners.
Yes.
All of our hipster SoundCloud listeners.
Yes.
And all of our nasty YouTube
Nasty.
listeners.
Nasty people.
It's a very special week. And yesterday was a very special day. Johnny turned 29, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
It's his
Haram.
birthday.
Haram. The
Happy
last year of
birthday.
my 20s. I've got
Happy
364 days to enjoy this shit.
How old are you now?
Too old.
How old are you now?
Depressively old.
How old are you now, Johnny?
Just leave me
How
alone.
old are you now?
Leave me alone.
we
29.
wish you
Many happy returns of the year.
God, this
Long life and prosperity.
Hip,
hip, hip.
hooray,
Hip, hip,
hip, hip.
hooray.
This reminds me of the 10th birthday party of Mr. Motivator in Upper Clapton Church. Shout
Yeah.
out Father John, old school.
Yeah, speaking about Nigerians, why are we so fucking shit at football?
Bruv, I haven't followed like the Nigerian national team since Sunday Alicia.
Oh, Paula, come on.
We got
Julius
knocked out.
Agahawa and them, man.
We got knocked out of the African Nations Cup by Tunisia, and I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, the bet didn't go well. The bet
No, it
did
didn't.
not go well.
I think this is the best shape we've been in a while.
Yeah, it lasted longer than Ghana though,
Yeah,
which is a win.
West Africa not doing bits anymore.
No, now you
like
know what
we
it
used
feels
to.
like to be Venezuelan.
Yeah. Johnny, it's your birthday. It's your birthday week. We're going out tomorrow in a big, big way.
A very large
You've been
way.
drinking for all of this week.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling empty, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm normally a high energy guy. Today I'm not. I went out on my birthday. Went to the pub after work for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Sunk about 4 or 5 double rums.
Got battered.
Got battered. Went and played football after 10 shots of rum. Played 8 aside. Played an hour's football. Felt awful. Was visibly battered for the first half. Misjudged the header by about 2 foot. It was embarrassing.
Yep. Sounds like you, though.
Yeah, lost. Finished the game and then went to the pub again. Was asked to leave one pub, asked to leave a second pub, bevved on for about 3 or 4 hours in total. I don't know if this happens to black people, but if you put enough battered white boys in a room, eventually you drink so much you just stop talking to each other and you just start making noises at each other.
Like?
We mooed. We
You
were
moo
mooing.
like a cow?
Yeah, we were mooing at each other for hours, and also making noises like small anime girls. It was very strange.
Small anime girls,
Yeah.
such as...
It was very sus.
Who started that?
I did not start it.
Okay.
I did not start it.
So to answer your question,
Yeah.
that's not how black people get down.
Okay.
In case you were wondering.
Well, there's gonna be a lot of white people tomorrow. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna have a great time.
How many white people are going to be there tomorrow? Because I might stay at home
yeah.
if you start moving.
There's a non-zero number of white people coming tomorrow. We're gonna have a great time.
But why the move?
Why not?
True.
Fair.
I mean, shit.
Yeah. Why not? Oh yeah, I don't know. We just ended up making, and then there was like a table of like women in their early 40s, clearly there to have a nice night, and we all walked in, and I think that eyed us up. Like, oh, bunch of lads in their late 20s coming off football looking good, and we just started mooing at them. It was very strange.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was white girl wasted in the cab home, and that was it. And then I've been feeling very delicate all day today. I've got no idea what we're going to talk about. I haven't checked that itinerary, done no background reading. I'm ready. I'm ready now that I'm old and drunk. I'm ready to get cancelled. So let's fucking
Well,
go.
look, many happy returns, Johnny.
Thank you very much.
Peter!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are you saying? How's your week been?
It's been alright, bro, man. Just work. Kicking my ass. Started studies as well.
Shit. What are you studying? Let the
Studying
people
to
know.
become a psychotherapist.
Cheese.
And yeah, man.
Women, he can love you up and down and then tell you why you're in love.
It's your toes.
I
making
wasn't
you
thinking
sad.
to use it for that, but
Just one of your many skills now.
hey.
It's a string to the bow.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm just happy to be here, man.
Hey, we made it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Richard, how has your week
Yeah,
been?
yeah. My week was all right. Yeah. So I started this thing at the start of this year, January 3rd, which was the Monday, Bank Holiday Monday.
Yeah.
Where I said to myself, I'm not a gym goer. As you guys know, I bought the Apple Watch and the plan was to do more running, but it's blitz outside, let's be honest, right?
Yes, freezing.
But I said, I'm going to start doing like some more at-home workouts. And Pete, he's into all that stuff. He wakes up, does jogs, and they go to the gym, him and
like a home
Saeed, and they
workout.
do all the workout stuff. I've not really been that guy, you know what I mean? I've been complacent because I'm 6'4" and my shoulders are wham. So I get away with a lot more than the average man in terms of
You
like...
had to throw that in there, innit?
In terms of
so
like...
boring.
You know, my
Years.
mesomorph body type, you know what I mean?
Say your thing, bruv.
But yeah, I started like home workouts and I do this thing where I do planking and push-ups every day.
Okay.
And I've got a rule. I can do no fewer push-ups or planks than the day before.
Oh, that's very good.
Right? So I'm on the incline. Always on the incline.
All right.
So 3rd of Jan, I just said I'm going to do as many as I can without stopping. Push-ups, I got to like a modest 33.
I'm a seller. I'm a
Right.
seller of 33.
And my plank was 46 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ask me where I'm at right now.
Where are you at, bruv?
Push-ups, I'm at 73.
I'm a seller.
That's really good.
I'm a seller.
Planking, I'm at 1:53.
Yeah, that's solid.
That's all right.
That's a lot of pain.
That's not bad at all.
That's a lot of pain, to be fair.
You could do better, but that's
What-
not bad.
How long do you plank for?
I don't plank.
So what the fuck is he?
Can't lose if you don't compete.
Do you know what I mean?
Right?
See, that's why Johnny's my guy, man.
Do you do push-ups?
Yeah.
How many?
100.
A day?
Yes.
Non-stop?
Not in one go now.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't do mine all in one go.
No, of course you don't.
Yeah,
Of course you
71.
don't.
70, man, bro. By the time I get to like, I can do like, because I do pay attention to these like minor details. I get up to 43 non-stop.
That's really good.
Yeah,
That's actually quite solid. But
someone
are they
that doesn't
proper?
really do
Is
it,
it
that's
like
good.
chest down to the floor?
yeah.
Or are you doing
Yeah, and I'm like
push-ups.
15 stone, right? So it's tough, man.
Do you do like different variations of push-ups?
Yeah, I do fairly like sort of shoulder width, and then I do like proper wide out to do the pectorals. You know what I mean? So I can do the Terry Crews with my boobs and shit.
Yeah. Not yet, but
Indeed.
inshallah one day it'll come.
Make him up way down.
Johnny, do you do push-ups?
No, but I do. I was a home workout guy, but I've never wanted to get big because of football. It's not really good to get big. So I have a regime that I lost over a stone on over the course of last year, and it works for me. So I got like a 20 kilo bar. So I do 3 by 10 bicep curls with the barbell, and then 3 by 10 chest raises, 3 by 10 shoulder raises. But as of yesterday, I'm quite ashamed to say that I officially became bougie. And my membership application to the NED was approved.
Swear down.
Boy.
Which means I'll actually have a gym to go to.
Swear. But that's a bit out of the way though, right? I mean, I guess from work, no.
It's
but-
near the office, it's near
that's
the
all right.
office. But I'm now conflicted because I'm not sure I can complain about the Tories anymore. If I'm at a private members club.
What I didn't mention at the start of this podcast is that Johnny and us are going to play a drinking game.
We don't have to mention it.
Where
We don't have to mention it.
every
We'll
single
do it.
time he mentions a word, depending on what word it is, he's either going to drink a shot of rum,
Oh God.
a shot of brandy,
God.
or a shot of tequila.
Can I not
He
play?
won't know what the word is until he says it.
I really don't want to play.
You just came close to one. I'm just letting you know.
Can I know the words?
You will know the words. They're written down here. I'll show you them. Yeah. He's fucked on this one. Because that's literally a topic.
And the second one.
But
Is
yeah.
it a
The
topic?
second one's a bit bad.
Now, if I guess the
No,
words,
no.
can I make you drink?
No. You don't make the rules.
So I just have to get
Josh,
fucked here,
shut up.
basically.
So look.
Before you start,
Oh.
right? As a fan,
This is brave.
as a fan,
Okay.
right? I was really looking forward to coming here recording with you guys.
Okay.
But I must say, you lot kind of been through it. Your co-host, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's been a bit mad, and
Yeah.
big up Zav.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, you lot have been through it.
Yeah. So I know that the listeners have been waiting. They've been on the edge of their seats to see who would win the quiz. Because I think when we last had it, it was 4-4. Was it 4-4
Yeah, it
or
was a big
5-5?
tiebreaker.
So people were waiting for the final to see who would win. I think the streets know that I would have taken it, but look, Johnny has a bit of a fan base as well, so they're riding for him too.
Just a bit.
But you probably noticed that since there's been a bit of a slight format change, we didn't want to sort of rush out the blocks to make a grand announcement because we're not corny breaders. But yeah, Tommy is no longer a part of this Kid and Terribly. He still remains extended fam. He still remains the bro dem. But he is no longer with us. So somebody shares the podcast on their page once a few weeks ago, and they said something along the lines of like, they've had more lineup changes than the Sugar Babes or something like that. And I was just like,
That is
Bruh.
bants, but also rude.
right. So we are
Big up
the
Keisha.
Sugar Babes of podcasting.
I'll take that. Can I be
got
my
hits,
buena?
though.
Because she's lame.
Man are saying we're the So Solid crew
Oh,
of podcasting.
Jesus.
Man are saying we are like Pep Guardiola with the squad rotations, rude boy.
Yes.
The streets are saying that we did a mystique
Oh, that is disrespectful.
after that
big
light
up
he
Alicia
left.
Dixon.
After that light he left in the beginning. And with the STEEQ. Man's are saying that like listening to this Kid and Terribly is like buying a ticket to a Wu-Tang Clan concert in Europe. Like who's gonna show up? Like is it RZA?
You God.
Is it just gonna be you, God, and Capadonna? Or are the big dogs gonna come through? Look, man, I'm not happy about it. It's making me and Johnny look a bit mad out here. It's making us look a little bit tyrannical to work with. We're nice guys.
We're
okay?
nice people.
No, but as a fan though, like I think I can speak for a few fans. You've not been holding it down though, man. Do you know what
Thanks,
I mean?
man.
The balance has still been, very good, and there doesn't feel like there's been too much of a shift as far as consistency and quality. So
Yeah, I think
you know what I mean?
Take that.
in an ideal situation, we don't. I mean, you run a podcast as well, so like in an ideal situation, you don't have the chop and change that we have had, because what many people don't actually remember or might not know more specifically is that the initial lineup for This Good and Terribly was myself, Zav, and one of our friends, Corey. So it's not just Zav and Tommy.
Corey bailed out as well.
Yeah, Corey bailed out early. So there's been quite a few changes. But look, man, like me and Johnny talk about this all the time. Like this podcasting business, like we give you guys a good product every other week, as do Rhymes Like Dimes, as do all of these podcast makers. It's much trickier than it sounds. You guys are just like keying on your commutes and stuff, laughing. This is work. And unfortunately, it takes a lot of commitment and it takes a lot of like graft, right? And it's not for everybody. So thankfully, my favorite white boy in the world has been consistent. Fucking hell, if Johnny decides to leave.
Johnny, man.
Then your favorite white boy? That might be the nicest thing you've ever said.
Bro, I compliment you all the time.
Yeah, but there's a lot like.
I think. I don't compliment you all the time. I don't compliment you.
Do I beat James Milner?
To be honest, Klopp is my favorite white person.
See,
You're second. You're my second.
Over Stevie G.
But I'm already second. Don't put me
yeah,
down the table anymore, bro.
No. Klopp followed by Johnny. But yeah, that's the situation, man. Like, I know it's been a little bit unsettling for the listeners, I would imagine, but I like to think that the product, and you know, I'm a fierce critic of myself, and I got thankfully some fierce, honest people around me. And I think the level that we've tried to keep has been consistent. So shout out to everybody who's been and gone, innit?
Amen.
We still love you all. And to be honest, you'll probably still hear from Zav. You'll probably still hear from Tommy in the future. We'll have them back. They're still fam, you know what I mean?
100.
I'm going to move on because I'm pissed off.
Oh, boy.
And it's Johnny's people again.
Why are you pissed
off? Wait, which one of my people?
Well, we've already established you're not actually Nigerian.
Yeah,
and I think we established in the opening section, we don't know many Venezuelans. So,
is it because I don't like toes? Is that what it's about?
Don't do that.
I'm not Nigerian because I don't like toes.
Look, man, you guys need to get off Wiley's back at this point. No. You're laughing, Pete, but like, nah.
Say you
people.
Say you people, innit? Do it. I dare you, innit?
He definitely wants to.
England and Manchester United footballers Marcus Rashford and Jesse Lingard have moved to make a statement saying they do not condone. They were forced to make a statement saying they do not condone any forms of discrimination after a photograph emerged of them in Dubai doing up enjoyment
Can't even enjoy
with
no more.
Richard Kiley Cowie, the man known as the Godfather of Grime. We are in his hometown, Johnny. Don't forget that. Yeah. Now, obviously, if you don't remember, Wiley made some pretty contentious, pretty controversial, pretty horrible statements about the Jewish community last year and the year before. It's been a bit of a tirade lasting a couple of years, I'd say.
Is time heals your point? Is that what you're getting at?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
He said it a long time ago. He's moved on.
That's not what I said.
Jews complain about everything.
Yo, can I
It was kind of sounding that way.
Wait. Can I paint the picture? Do you guys want to do this fucking
No,
moderators?
do your thing,
No.
bro.
You know what? I'm kicking back.
It was sounding that way, innit?
Hey, let's do this.
Paint your anti-Semitic Mona Lisa. Say your piece in it.
Look, if you want to moderate,
Yeah. If you want to set the tone, you lead, we follow. Remember that?
yeah. So yeah, he made some very horrible comments over the last couple of years, which he hasn't backed down for. He's apologized for some, but overall, he hasn't really apologized for much. So they were pictured together in Dubai. I think everybody's in Dubai right now. I think all the footballers are taking their winter breaks and all this other shit. Yeah, warm weather camps and all of that stuff.
Except Newcastle. Shout out to them.
And honestly, I don't even think the picture. I don't think the picture with Wiley was the most offensive thing. The picture actually reminded me just how, no matter how rich you are, how shit you can really, really look. Shout out Marcus Rashford and Jay Ling's stylists. You should be fired.
That man dressed like rappers.
Bro, but it's awful.
A lot of these footballers do it.
They're horrible. Like, if I had that much money, I'd be balling out of control.
I would still be in Uniqlo. I'd still bust Uniqlo.
No, you would not.
No, I would.
You'd be like, you go from like Uniqlo to like Sandro. You get your white tees from like Sandro.
I mean, I'm not doing bad for money now. I still bang it.
Talk about it.
Yeah,
Talk about it.
No, well, obviously, I'm just fulfilling the stereotype before Rich does.
He was going there as well, innit?
He was. He's like, obviously, you've got money.
I'm not him. Should we get back to it? Yeah. But yeah, obviously he made some comments which were really, really not acceptable at all. But this picture this week has caused all kinds of furore. Our friends, and we have to say our friends, because man like Josh, friend of the show, his employers at the Jewish Chronicle published this photograph, which obviously sent the internet into a bit of a mazza. But what we didn't really expect, even though we expected there to be outrage, was some of the comments that came out of the Jewish community, which Johnny is going to have to account for, because he has to account for.
Because we're all one people?
Yes, same way I have to account for a lot of the stuff that my people do to you.
Oh, so you defend what Wiley said?
That's not what I said. You're not catching me out tonight, mate. And by the way, wait, how many times did you just say Wiley? Because Wiley is actually one of the worst. I told you I'd screw him. So Wiley is top tier. Keyword. So Johnny is going to have a small shot
This is proper
of tequila.
anti-Semitic.
I don't have shot glasses, so it's going to be an egg holder.
Oh, for fuck's
There
sake.
you go. Mazel tov.
What is it? What is L'chaim?
Yeah. Is
Very
that
creative.
what did I say?
You said Mazel Tov is like congratulations. L'chaim is like cheers.
I mean, Mazel tov then. Congratulations, you're a year older. Why are you correcting me, bruv? I'm trying to learn your culture.
What, through Wiley? Oh,
Yeah.
God, that's disgusting.
Is it? Heradura
What is it?
tequila.
It's anti-Semitic. Carry on.
So yeah, as we had the outrage that came, we had Mark Cave, the director of the National Holocaust Center and Museum, and it needs to be said as well that yesterday Johnny reminded me again that his birthday actually falls on the National Memorial Day of Holocaust.
National Holocaust Memorial Day. Every year. It's very bleak.
So we're not taking this subject at all lightly. And it's a very, very important date in the calendar that needs to be commemorated. One of the people who came out and said that they weren't really happy with it was someone, Mark Cave, the director of the National Holocaust Center and Museum, who's actually worked with Jesse Lingard in the past on campaigns against anti-Semitism. So he came out and said it was great when Jesse stood together with us in our Holocaust Memorial Day 2020 video. Here we are now with Jesse standing together with an unashamed Jew hater. I invite him, Marcus Rashford, and any other footballers who think they know what racism is to think again. Anti-Jewish racism is not history, it is now.
Yeah, coordinated size from the black community. I don't really like. There's so obviously no leg to defend what this geezer said. I can't remember his name.
Mark Cave.
Partly because he's a dickhead and partly because I'm lit. But like, fine. I don't know. I do see where he's got a point because like,
What?
Rashford and Lingard could have taken a picture with Wiley in any country, and yet they chose an Arab one to do it. I think that's suspicious.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
No, I'm not even going to banter this one up.
Don't
This is my
forget
chat.
every time you say Wiley, it's coming. So
I'm not saying his name again. The idea that Marcus Rashford doesn't know what racism is among the dumbest chat that I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
And this is what I was getting at when we were talking on the episode about no other race theory. So Jews complain a lot.
Break that
about-
down again.
So
No other race.
No other race is treated in the same way as the Jews, in that when there are instances of racism, proponents of this theory believe that the public reaction or the public understanding of racism towards black people or Asian people is more swiftly dealt with in public discourse than it is when people are anti-Semitic. It's just demonstrably bullshit.
It's the wrong kind of race war, isn't it? Like,
It is the wrong kind of race war. It's just one. It's kind of actually one of the softer reasons why no other race theory is bullshit. More insidiously, it marginalizes the struggles of the portrayal of Black and Asian and other minority communities, and doesn't address the fact that actually, despite the fact that we do have a disproportionately sized influence in modern media, print media, written media, cases of anti-Semitism are dealt with more swiftly and more vigorously than almost any other type of racism in the press. Nobody in the press would ever think to be racist to Yossi Benayoun if he missed a penalty for Liverpool, but we all
Shout
saw
out.
what Rashford, Sancho and
Sterling.
Saka.
Sorry.
They don't look the same, but
Sorry, yeah.
what they went through when they missed a penalty, and it's ironic really that Jews in the press are able to say that nobody takes us seriously, and yet they have the most access to publicity. More insidiously, it creates a wedge between communities, and as I said at the time, no minority is safe until all minorities are safe together. And the idea of anti-racism is that all minorities come together to fight racism together. Wiley's a dickhead. Fuck, I've said it again.
Here we go.
He's a dickhead.
Can I have the egg holder, please?
He's a dickhead. But taking a picture with him when you weren't aware of the comments that he made.
What's the end game?
Doesn't make you an anti-Semite.
It's a bit tricky though.
Yeah, what's the end game? Can we not? What, I mean, I guess I kind of got to ask the representative of the Jewish community in the room, right? What's the end game for Wiley? Do we just have to cast him aside outside of society? Because
but he has come out and said that his comments were wrong.
Before we do that,
That he
piece,
shouldn't
innit?
have generalized. He did come out and say that.
I mean,
I think we are living in a time where unless you explicitly say you're against something, you're going to be penalized and you're going to be criminalized and looked to seen as like you're a part of the issue.
Yeah.
Because look at Kanye West when he was with Marilyn Manson, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Kanye, I mean, he was getting ridiculed.
Yeah. So I think this is kind of the Kanye example is a good one because it's where there's a distinction drawn between the supporting of someone's character and position and just being a fanboy of a rapper that you grew up listening to, right? And Kanye almost more likely came out punching in defense of Marilyn Manson and said, well, no, that's my guy, right? That's my guy. People are like, no, Marilyn Manson's a fucking wrong and he's been done for this and this. And Kanye said, no, that's my guy. Rashford never said that and actually was then kind of put on public trial and he had to apologize for something that he was never really supporting anyway.
Yeah, his statement was, this picture has been brought to my attention, which I understand now, given context, could be easily misconstrued. He's lying, man. I would like to reinforce that I do not and will not condone discriminative language or behavior of any kind aimed at the Jewish community or any other community. And what you would have seen on Twitter as well is that people were actually going directly at Marcus Rashford, and he was actually picking off quite a few of those responses and replying to people directly, again, reinforcing his apology. It made me feel away. I'm not going to lie.
I can kind of understand where it's coming from, to be honest with you. We live in a day and age where you have to explicitly say you're against something. Without really understanding who Rashford is and what he stands for, he has to come out and say things because you standing alongside someone that's done something or is accused of doing something, it's going to look like you're co-signing that unless you come out and say something. Unfortunately, that's just the times that we live in. So I kind of understand him needing to make that statement. And I don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
So our level, when I first saw
because if with R. Kelly, for instance, or Bill Cosby, if we see someone like Jay-Z standing next to R. Kelly, right, now, it's going to look a bit like, are you co-signing all the monstrous things that he's done?
But this is the point, and this is kind of where I feel that this comment made by the museum director was out of pocket because I kind of, when I first saw the picture, I was like, right, okay, does he know? A picture isn't necessarily an endorsement. He could have just been a fan, but he so quickly came out and said, this guy, I've got no truck with that, right? That's not my guy. I was a fan, didn't know about all these comments. I don't stand for that. And then boom, to me, that's case closed. Notwithstanding the incredible work that Marcus Rashford has done in his communities. Like, you know, this guy is not a bad egg. Yeah. Not only is he not a bad egg, he's a fucking good egg, right? Yeah. So you can give him the benefit of the doubt. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Turns out, doesn't support any of it. Yeah. So it kind of speaks to it basically speaks to the bullshit of the higher standards that black celebrities have to put up and have to face in public discourse. It was right that I think it was right that he would have to discredit someone like Wiley, but once he does, then don't keep attacking him. I think he said his piece. He said it very eloquently, but people just kept going on and on and on and on about the point. And actually, the amount of airtime that it took up is probably indicative of the disproportionality of coverage that we get in the media, at least comparative to the black community, and which discredits the whole point of no other race theory.
When Marcus Rashford goes and picks up a knighthood or a lordship in the future, which we know is his trajectory, do you think he's going to have to put out a Twitter statement saying he condones like paedophilia and the protection of paedophiles?
If he's standing alongside a paedophile, then yeah.
But he's gonna go on one knee and he's gonna be knighted by the Queen, right? The Queen who probably definitely knew about Andrew and the rest. You reckon he's gonna have to put out a statement after that?
Well, people reject honours of empire all the time, right? That's his decision to make. People who take OBEs aren't endorsing.
But if he takes on the knighthood, yeah, but I mean, rejecting it or taking it is a separate thing. But if he takes it, do you think he's then going to have to put out a statement saying he doesn't agree with colonialism and all of this other stuff? Do you think he will? He won't have to.
I don't think you have to. But it's different. It's different in that there's no. Where's the recognition of a life's achievement by taking a fucking picture with Wiley? Like it is different. It is different, and people conscientiously object to taking honours for that reason. People conscientiously object to booking Wiley to do shows for that reason too, right? That's a choice people can make. Yeah. I think that's a false equivalence.
I don't think it is.
It's not false.
I think he's onto something. I think essentially, if you break down what he's saying, it's kind of in line with what we're penalising or what Rashford is being penalised.
Yeah,
for.
I mean,
Should he have to come out?
He shouldn't have to.
Yeah, should he
really
have to come out and say
explain.
it? The fact that he did it, of course, accepted across all corners of the media and the public, of course, fine. There's no downside to not doing it, or downside to doing it rather. But again, where does that train of thought end?
So what, do you think people shouldn't be accepting honours of state at all?
No, my point is that I just don't think that him taking a picture with somebody who he probably known for a very, very long time, maybe, who is associated with something which is controversial, should have to come out and say, I don't agree with this person, especially when they have track record of showing that already.
But it is fairly recent as well. The Wiley situation is fairly recent, so it is still in the forefront of a lot of people's minds. So, and bear in mind, he's essentially been cancelled, so he's not seen as much. So when you are seeing him now in the public, alongside players that are very active or in the public as well, it's more in the forefront of our minds where you may have to make a comment. But I do get what you're saying, though.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. I think I think the only thing that he could do would be to come out against it, and he did come out against it. So stop giving him shit.
Yeah, precisely.
Just stop giving him shit, right?
Yeah.
I think, to me, that's case closed. And beyond that point, the idea that this prick who probably grew up in a 5-bedroom house somewhere in Hampstead, I'm going to get cancelled for that, can come out and say that Marcus Rashford, who grew up in Moss Side in Manchester, doesn't know what racism is. That's obscene chat, and actually, as a Jew, should fucking know better.
As a society, will we ever get away from needing to publicly state that you're against something, that you're standing next to someone that may have been accused of something?
But that, to me, that goes back to your point in that it was fair. I mean, I know Jews were particularly annoying in 2020, but it was recent enough that, like, he maybe should have known that Wiley had said those things, and in that context,
I agree
sense.
with you. I don't believe Marcus at all that he these comments have just come to light and he wasn't aware. Of course,
So
of course
is he not
was
to take
aware.
the picture then? Should he be like, "No, bruv, I can't stand next to you"? It's a bit
So
too
this
hot.
is where we get back into the old discussion about, do you separate an artist's content from their character?
Yeah,
Is it still all right to like R. Kelly? Is it still all right to bang what old school Wiley tunes? Well, boy, that's your own moral judgment to make, right? And if you do want to listen to Wiley tunes but you don't agree with it, then boy, state your position in it.
But it's not really your moral judgment if everybody else is attacking you.
No, it's for
that.
market. It's
Do you
for
know what I
Marcus
mean?
to state. If you don't really give a shit about people's criticism, then you don't say anything.
Yeah.
If he did support all the stuff that Wiley said about anti-Semitism, he would have kept his mouth shut, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't. So he said something. So move on.
Wiley said something along the lines after the furore. Look, just let the boys take the picture with who they want to take pictures with. So, don't think this is the last we've heard on Wiley versus your people, Johnny. And I think it's fair to say, based on our conversations around buying back forgiveness, that the price has gone up.
Yeah,
in the Jewish
I'm now
community.
£2.5 million. I'm now £2.5 million.
I think Wiley's done.
Yeah.
I don't think he could ever come back.
He can afford that.
You reckon?
Yeah, he can afford £2.5 million. To me, I'll take it.
To you?
I'll sanitize
You
it.
take it,
Yeah.
You'll sanitize him.
Yeah. Well, it's like the baby
That's
with the
wild.
gay cherry. It's the baby with the gay cherry. That's the price, £2.5 million. Pay me. I'll sort you out.
Boris,
Do I need to change race now?
it's still your people.
It's another one of my people.
Bro,
Yeah,
Boris,
no, I'm joking. Not really much has. I don't think a great deal has transpired in the last couple of weeks. With
Oh no, it's
regards
kicked
to.
off big time today.
Okay, tell me why.
So the
Because I've been working today, by the way.
The Sue Gray report was about to come out. So remember, for months, the Met have been like, not going to investigate, nothing to see here, not going to investigate, nothing to see here, and then pressure was put on, and the Sue Gray report was going to come out, the internal investigation. The Met came out today and said, actually, you can't release the Sue Gray report because we are now investigating.
Yeah.
And so all the stuff that you were investigating might prejudice our investigation. So you can't release the Sue Gray report anymore. And our investigation is going to take months, which is built on entirely bullshit legal grounds.
So what do you think that means for the report? So again, just to be clear for everybody who isn't aware, all of the madness that's been going on with regards to the secret parties that were taking place while we were all locked down, the reason why our politicians here, the premier politicians in the Tory party, haven't wanted or been willing to say anything is because there's been an ongoing report taking place conducted by Sue Gray. This week, the Met's decision to actually investigate the more recent party. So apparently Boris Johnson had a birthday party during lockdown.
Sorry, no, he was ambushed by cake at a work event.
Oh yeah. He was ambushed by cake. So a newer party. So the last time we spoke to you, there was another party that we were talking about, but another one has emerged. And this is the time that the police have actually said, we are going to investigate this for sure. So what that has actually done, in what can only be described as like the most ridiculous, bureaucratic bollocks decision you'll hear this year, has actually put a stall on this report coming out. And it was supposed to come out today? Yesterday?
It was supposed to come out sometime around the end of this week or beginning of next week.
What do you think that means about the actual report?
So
do they know it's smoking?
They know it's smoking, basically.
Shit.
So it's going to be heavily redacted if it's allowed to come out. No details.
Oh, is that what police getting involved means? So like basically the report when it comes out is just going to have a whole bunch of black blotches on it.
So I'll try and find the
Yeah, because my question was going to be
statement.
why does that mean that we won't get to see what is actually in the report?
I don't know, man. The legal element of this shit, I don't know.
So this was the statement. For the events that the Met is investigating, we asked for minimal reference to be made in the Cabinet Office report. The Met did not ask for limitations on other events in the report or for the report to be delayed, but we have had an ongoing contact with the Cabinet Office, including on the content of the report, to avoid any prejudice to our investigation.
Mazza.
So you read between the lines, it means that the Cabinet Office and the Met are basically working together on what goes in and doesn't go in and what is publicly released and isn't publicly released immediately or further down the line. This is just a cover-up. It's basically a Met-sponsored cover-up. This report was going to come out end of this week, beginning of next week. It was going to blow up in Boris's face. And the Met have come in to save him by pushing this investigation months down the line. Now,
having initially not being willing,
refused. Not being willing. They fucking refused flat out publicly to get involved. And oh my days, the day it's about to come out, no fuck, we should get involved. This all gets super, super sus. As I've said before, the commissioner of the Met, Cressida Dick, was involved in the Jean-Charles de Menezes investigation. That famously ended terribly. The assistant commissioner for standards of the Metropolitan Police Force is Sajid Javid's brother.
Ha!
How convenient.
Yo, his head is mega round, bro.
Very round. Very impressively round. Yeah.
It's like,
spherical. I'd kick it.
It's proper spherical.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. So like this is essentially as inside an inside job as you could wish to get. Deeply ironic that the Law and Order Party and the Party of Free Speech are both stifling the publishing of a report into potential criminality. Tory Playbook 101. If anyone thought that the Met had any integrity before, this should be the straw that broke the camel's back. If anyone thought the Conservative Party were in it for anything other than themselves and for power, this should be the straw that broke the camel's back, although there have been plenty of straws in the past. It's a botch job. And the Met have basically saved Boris because there is a marriage of mutual convenience in doing so.
Saved?
Yeah.
You don't think enough will come out to where...
No, because this is going to get blown months down the road. Which is actually good for me because I bet that he wouldn't go yet. I bet that he would go in a few months.
So I was at my mum's on Wednesday. It was her birthday. Shout out Mumsy. And Boris was on the news. And for some mad reason, and I don't know if this is just like 65 years of her being like jaded by Nigerian politics, yeah? But she turned to me, she was like, they need to leave Boris alone. I looked at her like she was the biggest op I'd ever met in my life. I was like, what do you mean, mum? She was like, they knew he was like this. I mean, when he was mayor.
I mean, Auntie's right.
Auntie
is right.
And I was like, mum, okay, I get that bit. What do you mean leave him alone? But then again, like my mum likes Jose Mourinho as well. She's an op sometimes. I'll be honest.
I love
Shout
Jose.
out, mum. I love
Jose is born the day before me. He's a fellow toxic Aquarius king.
But I mean, we kind of like could have seen how things were going to go with Boris.
I mean, yeah.
No way. The guy that was fired twice for lying from when he was a journalist. The guy that was fired for lying to his party leader, and the guy that threatened to get another journalist beaten up with a mate of his who he now claims doesn't know where he is.
We're going to see that he was going to make a mess of things.
No.
How would you feel if Boris Johnson put a hit out on you? Do you hear that
I
story?
don't think I take it seriously.
Do you know what I mean? Boris is going to get the heavies in for you.
I'm going to take it seriously.
I get some Etonian rugby player to come smash you up. Like, excuse me, Albin.
You know what I mean? Like
You rightfully annoyed my old
we
boy.
were running away from like ghetto boys and Peckham boys, and we lived near Peckham. We were all right. Like, imagine being like sent the wrong uns from Boris's gang. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sticky. It's very sticky. But anyone who kind of has any understanding of the Conservative Party isn't really surprised. It's just, this is an egregious cover-up. It's an egregious botch job. This is an egregious inside job. And boy, I don't really know. What can you do? You can organise and get the fucking Tories out of office. That's the only way to change it. But it's actually good for Labour, because the longer he stays in being a scumbag, the better Labour poll, because Boris is dragging the Conservative Party down. Not that he cares, because he's an egotist.
Sounds like you think that they're doing better, the old Labour Party.
Absolutely not. Not whilst that leader is in charge. And I'm saying that leader because I'm guessing his name is going to be one of the other shot words. He's smiling.
No, I'm smiling because I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Why are you so cynical?
Mad
if I was-
paranoid.
if I was to say
Mad paranoid.
Keir Starmer's a dickhead.
Oh, you're drinking!
I fucking knew it.
That's the rum word. Can I have the egg holder, please? You just said Starmer. Starmer's another word.
That's the one, is it?
It's gonna be a bigger. It's gonna be a bigger shot.
Keith is doing much better for Boris being in office. So the longer he stays in, and the longer the Tories.
It's a bigger shot, by the way. So.
Oh fuck. The longer the Tories do this sus shit, the better it is for Labour in the long run. But yeah, I mean, it's horrendous. This country is basically falling apart at the seams. There's no trust in public office anymore. There's no trust in the Met, no trust in the government. They break all the rules that they designed for us that they then claim they don't understand. Yeah. It's actually quite a serious time, because there might be a fucking war in Eastern Europe kicking off sometime soon. There's a cost of living crisis, and it's all going down the pan. So this is what my old man, bless him, used to say: a country gets the government it deserves. And this country,
I say that.
yeah,
I said that about Trump.
this country voted overwhelmingly for Boris, and you can only conclude that they overwhelmingly deserve it.
Yeah, bro. Like, you see, like Channel 4 News, and they go out to places like Bury, and they go out to places like, I don't know, like Basildon or whatever, and
what
like
the fuck?
everybody's like, yeah, Boris makes mistakes, but everybody makes mistakes.
He's just like
I-
us.
I
I went to Eton and to Oxford and did classics as well. He's a man of the people. Do you know what I mean?
I've not changed my view or anything like that. I'll vote for him again tomorrow.
Do you know what? Sometimes I do think Muslim women look like letterboxes.
He's picking in their watermelon smiles and that.
I don't even like watermelon. It's like a shit grapefruit.
Fucking hell. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. The cost of living shit is crazy. Have you checked your like fucking energy bills recently?
Nah.
The gas
Don't.
is high.
Don't.
The gas is high.
That's just my don't. Just don't.
Okay.
When the energy emails or letters hit your
It's
letterbox,
bleak, isn't it?
don't.
Yeah, but we just wrote off £4.2 billion in fraudulent loans that were made during the pandemic. We just wrote that off. So that's fine. But there is a national insurance increase coming in April as well. So they found the magic money tree from somewhere. Fuck the
Yeah,
Tories.
yeah.
I hope that's a drinking word. I'll drink for that. Fuck the
Very
Tories.
good. Very good. No, that wasn't one of your words. You hit two out
One
of
is,
three.
It
one,
definitely
is,
should have been.
one is your best friend. One is my best friend.
Yeah.
I'm excited to find the third.
So, Pete,
Yes, sir.
what's the dating scene like these days?
Oh, bro.
Haram.
Yeah, the streets is a very ugly place at the moment, bro.
Tell me
Honestly,
why.
man. It's just
Tell me why.
see, I want to talk.
Talk that shit.
Sit back and relax.
It just, I think from my experience, man, I just feel like even the girls my age, man, they're like,
Come on, boy.
I want to talk in it, but I'm scared.
it.
I think I'm scared to. Cause this is what women
Keep
have done to
drinking,
me.
bruv.
But this is what women have done to me.
Jaded.
I feel like I can't speak anymore.
You
Do
can.
you dislike winter because the toes are covered up? Is that what's ghetto about the dating scene?
No, because I get them out eventually.
Jesus.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
get them out
They
eventually.
get them out eventually. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
Nah, bro, the dating scene's just a bit mad at the moment, man. Like the girls of this generation, they're like really like warping the minds of girls my age.
Yeah.
And a
So,
lot of them are, you know,
Wait,
of
how old
that
are you for
social-
context?
I'm 31.
Okay.
so what would you do if you went on a date?
Yes.
Conversation getting heated, flirty. Yeah.
I
you
wish
know,
I knew what that was like.
like dirty talk, but like pre-watershed, innit? Like above board, not nothing too risque.
Give us an example.
Because you're at dinner. I'm not giving you an example. And then you ask
Why
the
not?
woman. No, come on, man. And then you ask the woman, like, you know, what kind of things are you into? And then she turns around to you and says, "Lick it well fast, but not too much. Big swig, like from a sippy cup. Love big dick, but that not enough. Me want me pum pum suck, suck, suck. I'm a queen, so boy, go down pon your knees. Me want sit down pon your head. Put your mind every time. This break, lunch, and dinner time. My legs are open wide.
What does she look like?
Shenseea.
Yeah. Where do I sign up?
Shenseea released a song this week, called Lick, featuring Meg Thee Stallion.
Very good.
I want to start this section by saying there are a few women in this world who can do whatever the hell they want. They can say what they want. If she robs you, you deserved it.
And she deserves it too, because she's a queen.
If she shagged your best mate, you
Mazel tov. I'm happy.
deserved it.
I'm happy for him.
If she dumped you, you never deserved her.
No.
Shenseea is one of them. She's one of them. But this new tune, man,
It's awful, isn't it?
it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it really is.
It's really bad. And the video,
I think when it came out, the internet was going a bit crazy. There's a lot of criticism, and I just thought, oh, just the interneting.
very colourful, a lot of curves in there.
So I'm a
Like
filth.
CGI vibrators.
I'm a filth.
just flying around.
I'm a filth classicist. I'm a big fan of WAP, and I kind of feel like that's where music peaked.
But this is like WAP Mark II.
Yeah, it's a worse song. It's a better video, but it's a
I don't know if
worse
it's a better
song.
video, bro.
There's a bit where like Shensea's legs wide, but there's like a superimposed mouth
Yes.
in her region.
I saw that. Yeah, I studied that. Have we done a comparative toe analysis across the two videos?
I've not seen either
should.
of the toes.
Have we not?
But at least WAP was a good song to listen to. This whole put your back in it, put your back in it
It's an
is
objectively bad song.
terrible.
Yeah, it's a great video though.
But, and look, this is a very tricky topic to broach, but I mean, we really should stay out of women's business for the most part.
And yet here we are diving in. Say your piece in it.
Safe space, bro.
Lie.
Well, look, everybody said this song was shit. So shit, in fact, that Shenseea came out and was like, look, I'm appreciating the love for my song, and if you don't like this song, you'll like the next one or the next one. And I respect that, right? I've made music. Sometimes you make it a good song. Sometimes people don't like your shit. But I'm a bit worried about where we're going musically, video-wise. Peter said something about, like, warping of minds.
Yes.
What do you think videos like this do?
Warp our minds. Over-sexualized.
Yeah.
In every way.
Are we allowed to say that, though?
No, we're probably not, because I'm assuming that she's had a lot of free choice, or she had a lot of free choice with this video, and she's choosing to, project her sexuality in the way that she sees fit. So as men, we're probably not really allowed to say anything but to just sit there and take it. But if we look at the bigger picture, it's a lot.
As men, do you guys want to live in a world where like people are overtly saying that they just want to be licked out?
Yeah,
Artie,
100%.
you want that?
Yeah, 100%.
You just want to know straight off.
100% straight, yeah, because first I'm a fan of bluntness, but also I'm happy to learn here. I've never understood the idea that it's over-sexualized. So let's say that you guys consume this as parties of one, right? What about that video is unacceptable to you?
It's not that it's unacceptable because I'm a grown man, but it's just the same imagery being pushed upon us, because it's not the same. It's not like we've seen many videos.
How does that kind of imagery
Bro,
impact
I think it's pretty obvious with that one. As I said, like
makes me horny.
So boom. So what's the fucking problem with that?
Is it normal to be horny all the time?
Firstly, yeah, but just because it makes you horny all the time doesn't make it bad content, right? So I've never. This is kind of, and I can see why people rationalize it in the context of not wanting kids to watch it. But then it also comes back to the argument of don't let your fucking kids watch these kinds of videos.
Bro, you can't
right?
say that. You can't say that. You cannot say that. You are literally one weird algo away from your little kid watching friggin' Peppa the Pig or gaming to going through to a song like WAP or a song like Lick, right? It's not about you proactively trying to keep your kids away from this stuff unless you've like got all the souped up parental controls and shit. Like this stuff they're exposed to. If they've got a social media account and they're young, like they're exposed to this stuff pretty quickly. Like to your point about like what's overtly sexualized about it, what's not overly sexualized about Shenseea having her legs spread wide open with a mouthpiece basically.
Yeah,
like,
so I wasn't
being
debating.
suggestive.
The point I made wasn't about whether or not it's overtly sexual. It's obviously overtly sexual. My point was what's wrong with that. If that's how she wants to express her art, and we are all very willing consumers of it, where's the problem? I don't understand.
It's boring, bro. Like, how many videos are we going to see like this? That's all we see these days.
Okay, all right.
That's all we see, man. And whether it's coming from a male artist or a female artist, we just see so much like
so that's the reason
sex being pushed. There's nothing else.
If you think there's a homogeneity of content and that you're bored of the sexual shit, that's a fair argument from an artistic perspective. Too much stuff is just relying on aesthetics. I can maybe have some chuck with that. The idea that these women shouldn't be allowed to put these kinds of videos out because it makes people uncomfortably horny, I think that's a bullshit.
I mean,
no one's saying that.
No, come on. Like, clearly, the whole horny thing isn't like the main problem with this at all, right? That's just a sort of byproduct of all the bullshit. But like, clearly, we don't necessarily want a. If we were living in an idyllic situation, like in an idyllic world where everything is the way it's supposed to be with regards to like, you know, relations between sexes and so on and so forth, then maybe I think certain messages would be okay and perfectly acceptable. But I do think, what point do we say that like the messaging and the things that we are promoting to the kids kind of needs to be controlled by the artists?
But it's not made for kids, right? This point I go back to. This is not made for
I don't
kids.
know if we can. I don't know if we can make that claim anymore because of how accessible everything is to everybody before. Back in the day, we would have had to have gone to our pop's fucking top shelves in the cupboard to get his porn tapes.
I'm a Channel 5 sex veteran.
Exactly. You would have had to have watched Channel 5.
Wait for Mumsy to go to bed at 11
exactly.
o'clock, set the alarm, get back up again. Let's go.
Exactly. So I don't know if what does made for kids mean anymore, right? Like when I upload This Kid and Terribly to YouTube, there's like a little question they ask me: is this made for kids or is this made not for kids? It's literally like a question, right? If I click it's made for kids, all the swear words and all the stuff that we talk about still goes out. They don't censor it.
Yeah, but we're not multi-billion-pound record.
No, but you get. But the point I'm trying to make is that what does that even mean? Made for kids now. What does it mean? They have all of the accessibility. Kids know how to use smartphones. Like
we know what it means.
Come on,
bro. Come on, man.
Like we like made for kids doesn't really mean anything.
You know what's appropriate for kids and what's not.
But this is not made for kids. This is the point, right? This is the point. So like I'll agree with you on I agree or don't agree, but I can understand the point that the consistency of a particular type of content is boring. All music videos are just blokes with tops off and birds with tits out, and that's boring. There's no creativity. That's fine. It's a fair argument. But the idea that it's like culturally erosive to have over-sexualized videos because people who it's not designed for might consume it, I just don't think that makes. I don't understand it. I don't think it makes much sense.
But why?
Because she's an artist and she's choosing how to express her art. Art is subjective by nature. You made the point. Sometimes you put shit out people like. Sometimes you put shit out that people don't like. I mean, but that's your style.
But
that is the way that you express your content. That's the way you express your art. You don't have to consume it, but yet we're all willing consumers of it. Us three around it, we all enjoyed the fucking music video, right? So it's just hypocritical for us to be like, I enjoy that, but I just think it's really bad.
Oh, I didn't enjoy it.
I think it's a deeper conversation because we don't even know if that's what she wanted to do. But because it's the in thing, and a lot of labels probably have like a hand in this as well, she's feeling like maybe she has to do that. But there's another conversation to have with regards to the same type of video being pushed out there and why that is as well. And I think we do have to look at labels as well.
Yeah, so a reggae singer, I had never heard of her before, but she's well known apparently. Queen Ifrica, she actually made some comments about Shensea's latest single, noting that it only further solidifies the fact that the younger generation in Jamaica has gone wayward. She said, I think the song's a further reminder to us that the future of our young people in this country is much more dire than we thought. She had a song called Keep It To Yourself, and she's always been pretty vocal about her disapproval of certain sexual escapades. And she added that as a mother, she would hate for her own child to be performing oral sex on women. She advised Shenseea to reevaluate the content she produces, saying, woman to woman, I would just say to her, a lot of us mothers here in the industry have lost our daughters to men who think that they have the right to do and say anything. And now we have women leading our young men down this dark road. No pun intended. I don't want my son going down on any girl. Our girls and boys are worth more than that. Come better than that, big woman. What'd you say to Queen Ifrica?
I mean, the idea that she's anti-Bowcat is probably more
I ain't gonna lie.
rooted in culture than anything.
No, all right, Pete. What do you think about what Queen Ifrica said about the impact that it has on the young'uns?
I understand what she's saying, bro, and I think it's the same argument we're having now, man. It's just too much sex, man. We're just pushing it out there for.
But yet you enjoy consuming it. So it's too much
but,
for who?
bro, I think we're coming at it from an angle of we don't. It comes a point where consuming this too much
is enough.
Is not.
So you're gonna stop watching these videos,
bro. that got thrown up to me, by the way. The way I found out about this video is because I follow the Shade Room, which I reevaluate that decision every single day of my life.
Every single post.
Yeah, exactly. But that came up to me because Shenseea is obviously big. I only found out about Shenseea on Kanye West's album, right? On Donda. So I didn't really know much about her before. So again, going back to your point about what's accessible, what's adult content, what's not, these things will just find you. Like, these people pay for sponsored ads. They got all the algos working in the background. They got like proper marketing content teams who just make sure that the video goes to the right
So then
eyes.
don't watch it, and then the market will move
But
away.
bro,
from
you
this kind
don't
of
know.
content.
You don't know that you're not supposed to watch it until you've watched it,
So
right?
downvote it, right?
Huh?
Downvote
No,
it.
I feel you, but I feel like you're rationalizing something which isn't as simple. We have a continued recycling of very, very lowbrow, cheap, overly sexualized, just like poor quality content. And it may seem harmless because we have the right to not watch it or not. But in reality is, if too many of the wrong eyes watch this thing, it potentially has, to Queen Ifrica's point, detrimental effects on the youth. If Peter's on a date, or I mean, I know you like all that freaky and nasty shit, but if Peter's on a date and the first thing that the girl says to him is like, I want to sit on your face. If that becomes like the standard fucking interaction on a date between like man and woman, you can't tell me that's a good thing.
Why not? Why is it a bad thing?
Bro, come on, man.
No,
Johnny,
come, but two
Johnny,
twos. No,
Johnny,
let's have the
Johnny,
chat. Let's
Johnny,
have the
I'm
chat.
about to give you another shot, bruv.
No,
Two twos.
because I mean,
let's have a chat. Why is
yeah,
that a
because
bad
there are
thing?
some
If a girl
individ-
states her intentions clearly, why is that a bad thing?
because it takes a while to warm up to that point. Like, the sex shouldn't be the
Bro,
first thing we go
do
to.
you
Sometimes
see-
you want to understand who the person is, what they're
Sure,
about before
sure.
you throw the sex part into it.
Yeah, you might do.
Do you see people fucking on the streets, Johnny?
That's not what I'm condoning. That's another false equivalence.
We're getting there.
But
But
why
actually,
don't
we're
people?
getting
Why
there.
don't people fuck on the streets, Johnny?
Because that first is unhygienic, but also it's bare fucking weird. You're not
No,
a public porn
what's the
star.
real
It's
reason?
a false equivalence, right?
You keep saying it's false equivalence.
Because you keep making false equivalences.
No, I'm just trying to say that
like
there's
two
certain
twos. If
things.
you're on a date, come on, bro. Like, you're single. You sit down on a
Right.
date with her. Within 3 seconds of looking at her, when you turn up and you've seen the pictures, the hinge, oh, very nice bit, WhatsApp chat, yeah, I'll meet you at this bar. Within 3 seconds, you know whether or not you want to fuck her,
Yeah.
and she knows whether or not.
But
she
that's not
wants to fuck you
necessarily the
too.
first conversation we're having, bro.
Fine, but if the two
Yo,
of you are
Johnny's
compatible,
dates sound nasty, bro.
Yeah, obviously. But if you two have both decided that you want to fuck each other, you know within 3 seconds. Now, how you communicate that is essentially a question of tactics. It's essentially a question of your willingness to speak about sex, or whether or not you consider someone's personality a part of deciding whether or not to have sex with them. But you know instantly whether or not you have sex. And so actually, if you go on a date with someone who also knows they want to fuck you within 3 seconds, then if you're both on that vibe, there's no danger in being like,
Okay,
yo,
so cool. So
nice to meet
So
you.
what if I'm not on that vibe?
Well, then then the two of you aren't
I
compatible.
got a better question. Because you said it's okay if a woman says she want to sit on your face straight away. What's the flip of that is if a guy goes to a date with a girl and says, yo, fellatio right now. Is that okay?
Another false equivalence.
Why?
Because if a girl says that she wants to sit on your face, you can stop her doing it. If a guy
Johnny.
is genuinely aggressive in his intentions and goes, nice to meet you, blow me now, it has a more threatening connotation than the girl being like,
'Cause
"I wanna
it's
sit
a
on your
guy.
face." Yeah, because it's a guy.
Come
Yeah, because
on,
it's a
bro.
guy. Because you're obviously going to be bigger, stronger than a girl is, and the majority of
So you've gone from
consensual sexual interactions happen in that direction.
So this
right?
sort of
it's
like,
false equivalence.
so this sort of like transparent over, let's just tell it how it is. We knew we wanted to fuck each other after 3 seconds. It only really applies if it's the woman leading it.
That's not.
Because if a guy leads
That's
it,
basically what
that's
you're
basically
saying.
what you said.
That's not what I said. I said you'll know whether or not you want to fuck each other. And I'm not necessarily saying that I'm down for a girl saying that she wants to sit on your face within 3 seconds. But the two aren't the same. And what you said were the equivalent of I want to sit on your face is I would love you to give me head, right? What you said was give me head. One's an instruction, one's a desire, right?
If a
And
girl
she might
says-
take it
how is that
differently,
different?
you
If a
might
girl
take it
says, I
Come
differently.
on, man. Come on, bro.
but
Come on, man.
if
You
you
know
wanna
what you're doing, bro.
It's not I know what I'm doing.
Hey, yo.
If you want to add nuance to a discussion, you add nuance to a discussion, right? This is that's how this shit goes, right? The two aren't the same.
Do you know what's so mad? Listening to you, man, do this is mad,
Oi.
rather than like being in front of it. It's so mad. This is mad. Yo, Johnny, you're mad.
I think what I'm trying to say is, and I started just by saying like we're staying out of women's business, and we're pro women. Like I said to Johnny before that like in terms of listenership and stuff, like the women have really held us down, innit?
Big time.
But so we are pro, and you know how I feel. You know what I'm about. But I guess the point I'm trying to make isn't about the rights and wrongs of men's behavior towards women. We couldn't be any more pro female in those conversations. But the point I'm trying to make is that, and the reason why I asked, do people fuck on the streets and so on and so forth, is because we're basically reaching a point, or we've reached a point more specifically, where there is no such thing as like...
We're desensitized.
We're desensitized to so much overly sexual... And trust, bro, like...
This is not only in this form as well.
No, listen to me. You didn't even let me land. You didn't even let me land. You didn't even let me land.
Fucking on the street now, would you say that's fine, or would you say that's wrong?
That's wild.
I would say
Okay, so then who do you know who finds that socially acceptable?
Yeah, but I won't be like, I won't be stuck on it.
But exactly, so you make the point that society is moving in that direction. Yet none of us know any people who would find it blessed.
I'm confused. You might have to run that point by me again, because the point I'm trying to make is that videos like that are making the conversations which we would normally have more quietly and in more private situations more normal, more the standard.
What they're doing,
right? These conversations, songs where it's literally like, I'm gonna sit on your face, right? And the male equivalent of that would be, I'm gonna sit on your face and put my ting in your mouth. Either gender, whichever, whoever's singing it, those messages have always supposed to be over a text or behind the fucking door when you're about to get into it. Like, why are we now at a point where the threshold for what is like sexually and socially acceptable is just basically non-existent?
Yeah, and these are becoming conversations that take place
That's
in
what
like,
I'm saying.
It's a very simple
even party settings and things like that.
And I hear you. It's a very simple answer. It's because there's a market to consume it.
Yeah.
People will not be spending millions and millions and millions of pounds. If society didn't already deem it acceptable, if that video was fully haram, people complain about it, downvote, and no one ever made that kind of video again.
What effect do you think it has on the fans?
So I'll give you an example. Skepta come out a few years ago with that All Over the House video.
Yeah.
That was too far.
That was horrible.
Too far.
Horrible.
He'll never make that video again.
Yeah.
And he acknowledged it later in songs. Too far. The market reacted, right?
Yeah.
The fact that this video hasn't been cancelled and that there will be more videos like WAP and like this means that they are only playing to shit that we want and are either too shook or too shy or not ready to admit.
That,
We get back to the point where you both said that if you saw two people fucking outside, you both would find it unacceptable. And I agree.
Yeah, I'd tell them to stop. I'd tell them to piss off, bruv.
I think it's fucking weird. I agree with you. So there's three people here who would all think that's weird. Okay.
Right.
Do you know anyone who you think would find it acceptable?
I know, but most people would take their phones out and you'd find out about it on Instagram, mind you. They wouldn't stop it.
So this is where I disagree. Most people that you know would say that's fucking weird. What the fuck are you lot doing?
I don't know. I disagree with that, bro.
All right, so you think you've genuinely got friends who would find that blessed?
Not friends, but I probably know people that will look at it and be like, oh shit, and then keep it moving like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because of what's being pushed in society, bro.
This is where we
the more videos that we see, like the Shenseas and that, the more like it's gonna get more and more like sexual. They're gonna keep pushing boundaries.
So this is where we kind of get back to the point that I was trying to make overall, is that we're all guilty. We're all guilty in different theaters of content of being like, I'm happy to consume this shit, but I think it's negative on other people. And this fucking people on the street.
I think it's negative on me.
Is an example where all of us would say that's weird, but I know people who.
Bro, I even think it's negative on me because even when I see a woman now, all I think is sex. That shit is feeding into my subconscious to where like I objectify women way more because of videos like that.
You see,
100%, bro.
All you see, bro. It does have an effect. You have to accept that it has an effect if that's all you see. You can be like Peter's the most solid. We are some well-raised motherfuckers. We are, right? But conditioning is a real thing, isn't it? It's a real thing. Like whether we like it or not, if you continually see something, it will have an effect. It takes a great deal of will to essentially stop the process of looking at things differently if you are pumped with a particular view.
Okay.
Or
even if I don't
content.
verbally project it and verbalize it, I'm still having these thoughts because of all the things.
The point
that
is, if you watch enough videos where women are shaking their bundas, then you begin to objectify women.
I start having these thoughts.
But don't you explain what Kanye West was saying about like trap beats and all of that stuff and that shit that you love?
Yeah, it feeds like different sounds and that feed into like chakras, which is like energy points within your body, and it taps into you and it can force your body to react in particular ways.
I think that's moving to a mad live. I'm going to discard Kanye, but if we get back to the point we're making,
no, but that's relevant, bro.
Yeah,
it's
music,
it's spiritual
imagery, all that stuff. There are things that are happening that are at work that essentially affect people's behaviors. Right? We are driven to consume,
and that's just sound
by imagery.
Think about what you actually
sound.
visually see.
Yeah, this is the point that I make. The point that I don't really get is the idea that if I watch enough women with their clothes off, that makes me objectify women. I'm not sure. I don't buy that.
Objectify might be the wrong word, but you start overly thinking about them overly in a sexual way that you may not have had you not seen.
So if you're more exposed to sexual content, it may desensitize you to others' sexual content. I don't think that seeing naked women should make you see women as naked objects. I think they're two different things. And the overarching point is that these multi-billion-pound corporations that are putting out this content are responding to market demand. We already want this shit. That's why they make it.
They're also dictating it as well, but we can talk about it later.
Let's do this till the cows come home.
So, who are your next dates with, guys?
Where?
Yep, I took it there.
I don't have one lined up right now, but I'll let you know when I do.
Peter, I've known you for 31 years of your life.
That's every day of your life.
Man just said, I don't have one lined up. So I ask you again.
Is that a lie? Is he lying?
He's a liar.
He's lying. Look at him sip.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
guilty
He's sipping,
sip.
so I have to move to you. That's
Guilty
smart. He's a
sip.
podcaster. He knows. If he
Yeah.
sips, I have to move to you. What's your next date saying?
I'm playing the
Who's getting the birthday sex?
I'm playing the birthday card. Keep my mouth shut.
Is the person who is giving you birthday sex, who is going to sit on your face, is she listening now?
No comment.
Fuck, man. I'm trying to take this podcast to the next level.
I feel you.
Don't feel me. You fucking you
Don't feel
drank
me.
brandy.
Answer
What do you want me to
me,
say?
innit?
It didn't answer my
What
question.
would you like me to say?
Nothing. How do we segue from Shenseea and face sitting to the Soviet Union that Vladimir Putin is trying to reform?
You just did.
We're going to be on this quickly.
I was going to say one entity smaller than the other pretending to fuck each other on video.
Very good.
That was my effort.
So yeah, this particular thing this week, didn't think I'd be really too exposed or even all that interested in what was going on in Russia and Ukraine, and obviously Crimea a good few years ago dominated the news and so on and so forth. But like in terms of my day job, as you might remember, I cover in my company, I cover like Eastern European markets and Central European markets and so on and so forth. So this kind of hit home a little bit more this week because obviously I've got Ukrainians in my team and shit is kicking off so bad or the potential for shit to kick off so bad is like proper close potentially that essentially we can't go out to Ukraine. We can't travel there. And my boy, shout out Vitaly and my team. He is, did I tell you about Vitaly, by the way? He's 22 years old. His mum is 41. His grandmother is 62. And his great-grandmother is 81.
Jesus.
That's got to be some like Guinness World Records shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, if he pops one out quickly, that could be a 5-generation
It's a
gang.
mazza, bro.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
mazza.
yeah,
Shout out Vit. But yeah, he obviously wasn't able to return back to Ukraine, which is where he covers for work, and he's been on the blower to his family for the last couple of weeks about potentially having to either get the hell out of Kiev where they live, or get out of Ukraine altogether. So this stuff has become a hell of a lot more real, and like the situation that happened in Kazakhstan earlier this year as well, at the start of the year, a couple of weeks ago, basically, where the rising gas prices meant that there were loads of protests on the street, and then Vladimir Putin volunteered to have some peacekeepers, some peacekeeping troops go into Kazakhstan to solve problems.
Keep peace.
Is another reminder, another example of what Big Vlad is trying to achieve. It's invading countries bordering to divide and disrupt their sort of parliamentary process and force, in this case, like the Ukrainian president to essentially hand over or give up parts of the country. And then Putin can essentially have like a pro-Russian government or pro-Russian leaders strategically positioned in these regions so that he can grow in power through infiltration. I'm not wrong in thinking that the overall aim is to essentially take us back to what Russia was.
Is that also why Russia don't want Ukraine in NATO?
I'm going to say that's Rich.
Sorry, I took a swig there.
I'm going to say that's Rich's take.
Oh, okay. All right, tell me.
Don't really want to associate myself in case...
Is that completely off?
In case the KGB are in town. That's not off. It's not,
I feel you.
it's not necessarily off. It's an extremely Western-centric view.
All right, go.
And if you're in the West, it's entirely reasonable that that's the perspective that you come to reach. How Putin would look at it, and this is not me being Marcus Rashford standing with Wiley. Fuck, I've said it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's honest. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
I have the egg holder?
Yeah, this is not me being Marcus and endorsing anti-Semitism. I'm just explaining. Putin's view is that why does NATO exist? NATO was a defense pact that essentially existed to counter the threat of potential Soviet aggression. Oh, fuck. That is disgusting. What is it?
It's called Herradura tequila.
That looked painful, bruv.
Oh, bro, I'm so cut.
Reposado.
NATO existed to counter Soviet aggression. The Soviet Union doesn't even exist anymore. Not really sure why NATO needs to exist. It's just a way that America can outsource its imperialism in Europe to other countries and get the countries of Europe to fund their own defense against this bizarre image of a Russia that was once an enemy but has now been so raided by capitalists that it no longer is in practice. From Putin's perspective, NATO trying to get Ukraine to join the alliance is somewhat equivalent to how America would respond if Russia tried to get Canada to join the Soviet Union. So it's entirely rational from his perspective, given that NATO only existed to fight Russia, to want to stop a neighboring country joining it. And so the Crimea one a few years ago was very mad chat because he basically said, well, there's quite a lot of Russian speakers and people who think of themselves as Russian, so we're going to take it. Come and have a fucking go if you think you're hard enough. Realised that the West weren't hard enough. And actually now that the West is going through another period of turbulence with a new head of state in Germany, a crumbling government in Britain, and a president who doesn't know what time of day it is in America, he's decided to have another opportunistic go at eastern Ukraine. And so these two regions, he's going with the same argument that they are ethnically Russian or they are Russian speakers in the Donbass and east of the Dnieper, and that it's actually the West who are being aggressive through NATO by stationing troops in lands where people want to express their right to self-determination, to be pro-Russian, pro-Russian Ukrainians, so we have to go and defend them. It's the same playbook that America has used in the West to fund revolutions, counter-revolutions throughout Latin America and Africa, in that these people are pro-liberal democracy, these people are pro-liberalism. We should support them against evil dictatorships. It's the same playbook, just being used in reverse. He's played the reverse Uno card. And so what has happened here is that both sides have bizarrely amassed amount of troops to counter each other's threat, that we now stand on the verge of, well, depending on how you look at it, either a small local skirmish or thermonuclear war.
But that was the next question. What's it looking like being? Because that's one of the big questions, right? Is it just going to be a little slap in the face, or is it going to be like proper shellings?
This is where it gets complicated. So remember we did our predictions for the year at the end of last year.
Yeah.
And I said my one was that China would invade Taiwan.
Yeah.
I think this is basically the litmus test as to whether or not that happens this year. My view is that Russia will arm the pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine to a sufficient extent that they are able to claim some kind of semi-autonomous independence, just as what happened in North Abkhazia and South Ossetia in Georgia in 2008. And rather than NATO risking a full military conflict with Russia in eastern Ukraine, they'll cede those regions and then seek to consolidate what is left of the country within either Europe or NATO. And so eastern Ukraine becomes either Russia or quasi-Russian in its independence, and the rest of Ukraine starts to pivot towards the West. Now, how does Putin respond to that? I don't know. I think he maybe thinks that if I've got a border against what is to become a pro-Western country, I'll bide my time until I can take its government over by installing friendly politicians, etc.
Yeah.
But I fundamentally do not believe that America has the bottle anymore to fund these foreign wars. No. NATO served its purpose because it could outsource the dirty business of imperialism in Europe by getting other countries to do the fighting, and the direction of travel in the last 40 years has only been moving against foreign interventions. We saw what happened when America pulled out of Afghanistan. Generally speaking, people were pretty overwhelmingly happy to be out of the fucking conflict. Okay, there was a lot of anger about how they botched the withdrawal. The West, and America in particular, does not want to be fighting these wars anymore. They certainly don't want to be sending troops. They do not want to be having more dead American kids fighting for what is effectively a regional conflict in Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
So how does this play out? I think that Putin gets his hands in one way or another on the eastern regions of Ukraine. America doesn't really do much about it. Some kind of treaty pact is done about a non-aggression zone in that region, and then the rest of Ukraine starts to pivot to the west. What's more important is whether or not China then goes, oh yeah, the West don't turn up anymore. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. We're coming for Taiwan.
Yeah.
So I'm not particularly worried about thermonuclear conflict, as bants as it would be. There's not going to be like a generation of White Walkers walking around Donetsk.
Okay.
And
Is that Game of Thrones reference?
yeah.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to sign a bunch of cheap Brazilians from Shakhtar, which I was hoping would be a side product on Football Manager.
Do they still churn those out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a left back called Dodo or something who's actually quite good. I don't understand how these Brazilians all end up in Ukraine. Anyway,
Who was the last dope Brazilian that came from Shakhtar?
Willian. Yeah, Willian, bruv. That was him.
Was it him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willian, bruv.
a man like the original Eduardo who got stoked.
Well, the Arsenal.
Oh, he
Yeah.
came from... Oh, yeah.
From Shakhtar as well.
That's good knowledge.
They've had a few ballers still. Anyway, getting sidetracked. I think like there's some conflict. But America don't back it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you can do when gang pull up.
But they're threatening
Not back
sanctions and all that stuff, though.
Yeah, that's fine. So that's how they basically get Russia to stop fighting.
Yeah.
They just fucking rinse the economy.
Yeah.
What's more important, one, is do China walk into Taiwan, because America is now bound legally, basically, to protect Taiwan by an act of Congress. But also what's happening in the Middle East, which doesn't seem to be reported, where a lot of rebels are just bombing Arab oil fields with drones. And that's quite concerning. So, yeah, I mean, Britain's pretending that it's still a major country by sending arms to Ukraine, which is objectively funny because we can't feed children. And apparently Marcus Rashford's an anti-Semite, but yet we've got billions of pounds to send to a fucking conflict in a country none of us are ever going to visit. And Germany sent 500 helmets, which is also very helpful. But this is basically just not our shit. We shouldn't be getting involved. If these people want to scrap, let them scrap. I don't understand why we're getting involved in it.
I just want to say, one day off his birthday, hungover, had at least 3 tequila shots and a rum shot. See how man just unpacked that whole thing with
was mad.
Man, your podcast could never. Yo, Johnny Vivas. Yo, big up.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
I thought you used notes.
No. I told him that he can't become that guy. He knows I'm staunchly against this whole
not allowed
this
notes.
new guy who
notes.
brings
No,
notes.
I'm
No,
not
I'm not
allowed
I'm not on it. We come here and we free the realness because we're just some sexy
Talk about
intellectuals. You know what I mean? That's what we do. That's
called
what
sauce.
we are.
Yeah.
How do we segue from Putin, Ukraine, and Russia to Kanye West and Kim Kardashian?
You just did.
Right?
Uh,
Right?
Kim Kardashian is Armenian. That's close enough to hold smoke.
Bro, yo,
That's hard.
Johnny is on fire tonight, bro.
Give him another shot. Give him another shot, man.
Yeah. To be fair, is that one of the buzzwords?
No.
Close, but no. We're going to give you another one. I actually don't really have much to... I mean, I hate Kanye West boots. I want to get that out first and foremost.
They're trash.
I hate the boots.
They're trash.
I think Kanye West is entirely too frumpy in body shape to get off 90% of the things that he's been wearing recently. I keep saying this because I think it's a nice reminder for everyone listening. I'm 6'4". So
It is boring, isn't it?
So
It is boring.
How many times do you wanna say it?
so those kind of welly type sort of astronaut boots would work with me because I've got
please.
necessary thighs. I've got like long
Now you
enough
wanna talk
Don't
about
interrupt.
your thighs.
long
Don't
enough
interrupt, let me
thighs.
finish.
But
be done quicker.
but Kanye West, it doesn't quite work, and then he wears like very oversized like bomber type jackets, and they're quite cropped as well. So it's just jeans and then it's boots and then it's very frumpy.
Yeah, it is frumpy.
Yeah, but that's not why we're talking about this. We didn't mention when it started happening. You know, his new boo, Julia Fox.
I'm not clicking.
She's fine.
Why not?
I'm not clicking.
Why not? Do you not like her?
I think he's managed to find the only woman in Hollywood who makes Kim Kardashian look classy.
Mazzoline. No, wait. Okay, class is a different thing. Do you find her physically attractive?
She was fit in Uncut Gems.
Understatement of the century.
Yeah, fair. She was exceptionally fit in Uncut Gems.
Correct.
That like belly top and high boot combo that was walking through the airport.
Yeah.
Trash.
So you're onto something. I think that she has enjoyed this entirely too much, Pete. I'm not gonna lie. Like she is. When I went on to Julia Fox's, I followed her. I was a dog, right? I followed her straight after I watched Uncut Gems a couple of years ago. I followed.
Sick nigga. Your boy is sick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did. I followed her. But then this is the thing, right? You watch these Netflix things when you've had a couple of whiskeys at home on a Friday or a Saturday, right? You start
100%.
following, and then like a couple of weeks later, you're like, why the fuck am I following this waste, man?
I
right?
100% did the same thing with Anna de Armas.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I love
exactly,
that
right? So I followed her for a bit, and then I unfollowed her. But then obviously out of nowhere, she's now dating Kanye
That's a
West.
lie. That's
no,
a lie.
I did. I swear.
Get the followers list
No,
out
I
on the
swear,
phone,
swear. She's no longer. I followed her. I unfollowed her pretty quickly, right? But like, obviously, most people have been going to her Instagram page as a result of her being Kanye's new ting, right? And her followers have just been crazy. Every single time I return, which sounds bad actually, every single time I return to her page, she's got like 100,000 more followers. She went from like 400K to like 1 million in a couple of weeks, right? But one thing that I didn't really like, to your point about like the classiness of it all, she would be like resharing and reposting on her stories like articles from other Instagram pages saying like, who's Kanye West's new boo, Julia Fox, and like all of the snapshots and the paparazzi stuff. And I was like, that's very lame. He did that whole thing where he like took her on a date and then took her on the second date, and the second date was like a whole new wardrobe and a weird photo shoot for a magazine. And at that point I was like, this isn't a real relationship. It can't be. But then she said something along the lines of like, I don't know what the relationship is, but I'm enjoying the ride. And I was like, yo, you're actually quite corny. So I take your point.
So this is the thing.
But that's not my point, but carry on.
She doesn't actually have celebrity source because, as I read, I think Uncut Gems was actually like her first acting gig.
I think it's her only acting gig, right?
Yeah.
I think she's just got like a podcast, but she just struck
yeah.
gold.
So she's not used to fame.
Yeah.
Which kind of informs these bizarre wardrobe decisions. I can do foreign policy. I can't do celebrity shit. But it informs these bizarre wardrobe selections. There was the other one where like my man's wearing a mask and they're sitting next to each other on a couple chairs. And someone tweeted, "This is what is it? If parents' evening at Euphoria High, it's them two sitting moving bookie." But yeah, I don't know. I think he's Kim Kardashian was hardly a paragon. The Kardashian family in general, hardly a paragon of like.
Why did they catch so much
Cultural
smoke? No, I don't like this, man.
Authenticity. Not that I'm a snob, but I think
a snob.
I think he's managed to working class snob. Come on, I think he's managed to trade down. He's managed to trade down on that one.
I mean, but where's he gonna go from Kim? Kim's like amongst like the baddest in the world.
I don't think so.
It's very easy to trade down.
Don't let these women hear you say that, bruv.
It's the truth.
Honestly, depending on which room you're in and which females here, like I've got into. I genuinely I couldn't be more indifferent to like the Kardashians and Kim. Like I do think she catches way more heat than she probably should, given that there's some awful people in the world. And I understand that they don't like her come up and the appropriation of like body types and ideals and
oh my days! Did you want to see the picture of I think I get it mixed up. I think it's Chloe. No, did you see the one with Chloe where she's all made up doing this photo shoot in a car and her hands are an entirely different color to her face?
But yeah, this is the thing. Like Armenians for the most part are like quite pale white. So much of the stuff that they've been getting off. Yeah.
Not that pale white.
I wouldn't have thought so.
No, they are.
No. They're Turkic. They're not pure gringo. They're Turkic.
I mean, I know quite a few Armenians, and they're nowhere near as dark as the Kardashians have been consistently throughout the year.
Agreed.
Right, so that was kind of more my point. So I understand like why they catch some of the smoke, but they also live in LA, right? Like so, like tanning is not really a problem, and then obviously they do photo shoots and like they get edited.
Her hands
and
are coming like boiled chicken.
100%. But like that's not why we are here, right? We've touched upon Julia Fox and Kanye West, and obviously Kim has moved on with Pete Davidson.
The king. Sorry, I've had to wear a lot of shit for the last two episodes of White Boys
and him kind of look.
Did you call him a king?
Yeah. Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
King.
Why is he a king?
You kind of look
because he's funny
like
and he drew
him.
Kim
Yeah,
Kardashian.
no, he sees himself in Pete. I think you kind of look alike.
First, I think Pete sees himself in me.
Why are you ignoring me?
I'll take a compliment. I'm just moving beyond it.
Oh, it's a compliment, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Definitely not a compliment.
are either of you fucking Kim Kardashian?
Sleeping with?
I mean, we could.
Bet. Good luck.
Are you questioning Peter's source?
That's what it sounds like.
I'm the believer in Peter's source. I called him a king. You people are questioning my decision.
Okay.
All right, that was a good save.
Carry on.
I've had to wear a lot of heat for the actions of white people recently.
Yeah.
I just think we need to acknowledge how Pete Davidson has come up through the comedy scene and stolen Kanye West's girl.
Do you think that relationship is real?
I think it's more real than Kanye and Julia Fox.
Who do you think has done the whole PDA thing who do you think is more in the wrong with regards to their PDA? I think.
Yeah, he looks mad.
Thank you.
Yeah, he looks mad.
I think
Thank
he looks
you.
crazy.
He
out
looks
here, bro.
mad purely because he was coming out saying he wants his wife back. Do you know what I mean? I want my family
He's got
back.
big divorce man
And
energy.
then the next day he was seen out with Julia Fox. And that was before we'd even actually seen anything
Kanye's not
with
well,
Kim
you
P.
know. He's not well, you know.
He's
bro.
not well.
He's not all right. Yo, that Black King is not all
And
right.
he's doing too many interviews. He's talking too much. And
His
Kim's
head's falling apart.
actually keeping it classy. She's not really saying she's not saying anything. Publicists here and there, reps here and there, but she's not saying anything bad about him.
When are people gonna give Kim the credit she deserves for being with Kanye West during some of his crazier years? Like getting with Kanye West, like post Amber Rose, where he was on all of the smoke, and then that turned into, oh shit, I've said a really bad thing about slavery being a choice, so I'm gonna fake being bipolar for the next few years and hope that they forget.
Don't do that.
That's one of my many theories, along with Frank Ocean not being gay. But if these theories are for drinks only, and when we get a Patreon, I can get into it a little bit more.
You got to beat that out.
Yeah, no, I'm not beeping out shit. These are my theories. These are my thoughts. They're not Johnny's. They're not Peter's. They are mine. But Kim needs more credit. Like, she has been through it, and she's, for the most part, to your point, just kept it very, very classy.
Yeah.
Very classy. And then like this week, Kanye West is basically like reminding people that she has a sex tape and that he apparently has part 2, and then he got the second one from Ray J. Like, that's the mother of your kids.
That's
That's
wait, hold on.
Did you
Pause.
not hear about that?
What?
So he went on an interview this week and said to this guy called Jason Lee, who was interviewing him, that he found out that there was a second tape with Ray J. So he went to Ray J and essentially procured the tape.
No way.
And then gave it back to Kim. You're back in control. But and even though that action is like noble, right?
Is it?
Well, yeah, of course. You don't want it in the wrong hands, right?
It becomes unnoble when you talk about it.
Exactly. It becomes unnoble the minute you tell everyone, oh yeah, by the way, do you guys remember?
There's part
my
2.
wife has a sex tape and I got part 2.
Oh
like,
my
that's the
days.
mother of your kids, bro.
That's
like,
mad
what
chat.
the fuck?
And that's why he won't get her back. It's done.
It's done. It's completely done. It's completely
over.
done.
She's also dating a funny white boy, and we are very dangerous.
Is he white? Is he fully white? Like,
think he's
them,
mixed,
them features. Them,
Has he- what?
yeah.
I thought he was mixed.
Mix what?
There's a bit of black in there.
He could be
somewhere.
like a.
What? Because he's funny.
yeah, we'll take that. We'll take credit for
Nah, it's
everything,
the
though.
features. It's the features. He's got like
big lips, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's racist.
Has he not got big lips?
What are you trying to say?
Black people lips bigger than white people lips.
Racist.
Is it?
Yes.
Shouldn't really be saying that.
I know.
I
I know black people with lips like this.
Do you?
I
Yeah.
don't know many though.
You're not supposed to
I'm not
encourage
supposed to
racism.
encourage that, but
But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's been a lot of back and forth as to like who's more in the wrong.
Kim's making him look mad as well via her publicists and her reps because she's not actually coming out and saying anything.
Yeah.
He says something and they're coming out and just like disputing it.
Remember
Very quietly, very slick.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Remember what I've been saying for the last 4 episodes about good PR?
Yeah.
She got better PR than he does.
That
course she
Kardashian
does.
machine is like
It's unbelievable.
masterful.
It's
He doesn't
unbelievable.
quite, for someone who walks around and says like, I'm a billionaire, I'm a billionaire, I'm a billionaire. Like, he acts like the brokest billionaire we've
Yeah.
ever seen in history.
Maybe
like,
he's not a billionaire.
He's not. I mean, that's another one of my theories. I don't think he is a billionaire, but I just think it's kind of like if you're a rapper and you wear like fake bling. Who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? Like, we associate you with wealth. We associate you with wearing the real deal, obviously. If you go to Surprise in the West End and you pick up one of them like fucking fake things, who's gonna tell? Right? So him, I think it's just like, he wants to be in that Elon Musk conversation. He wants to be in that Jack Dorsey space, right? With these proper billionaires who are doing unbelievable things. And his way of doing that is just by telling people I'm a billionaire. I'm sure like overall, like net worth, he's probably there about maybe $1 billion, but like 9? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. And the
not
shoes
sure.
are shit anyway, so I don't really care.
Relax.
He's not made a
So
good
if
album
like
for
Julia
15 years.
Not
Fox,
shit.
so if Julia Fox is like, you see Julia Fox in a Tottenham boozer, and she's like, put your back in it, sit on your face type thing, and she's wearing open toe shoes, and the toes are mangled. You're not on it.
I'm not. I'm not the guy with foot prejudice here. You need to ask.
No. But it sounds like you have foot prejudice.
No, don't paint me out as that guy.
If the toes are just like,
If the toes are mash up, the toes are mash up. I'm obviously not into mash up toes.
oh,
Toes.
so you are into toes then?
Pete's the toe purist.
No, Pete's not the toe purist. We're not putting this.
I don't know
on
if
me.
you can say you're not into toes if you would reject her based on clapped toes.
I never said I reject her based on clap toes. Actually, I
Oh,
didn't
so
say
you
that.
wouldn't?
No, I would reject her based on clap toes.
So you are a toe guy.
No, but I wouldn't.
So you're in
I'm
the
not-
society.
No, but the point was that would it add attraction if she's got particularly nice toes?
Yeah.
For me, that I wouldn't give a shit if she's got particularly nice toes.
But it takes something away if she's got trash feet.
Well, no shit.
No,
No
but
shit.
if
If
you
she's
don't
got
care
bunions
about,
and verrucas coming off all of her toes,
but if you
then
don't care about
obviously
feet,
that's nasty,
then,
innit?
if you don't care about feet, then
I think it's not that I necessarily don't care about feet because I feel like that's like now a thing. I just significantly care less about feet than you appear
What's
to.
the first thing you look at? Or what are your first three or your favorite three things on a woman? For me, it's like freckles, dimples, smile.
Right.
Fourth would be footwear, of
Are
course.
we going to lie about ginger hair? Is that what we're doing on this podcast?
I mean, you know me, like ginger with freckles. I mean,
People
yo,
don't
where do I
stop
sign
my
up?
Yeah, yeah.
But what are yours?
So this is such contrast because I'm not Pete the Feet, so I'm not sure what content I can.
how have I adopted this thing?
Pete the Feet.
How have I adopted this?
Yo, that's,
just
the,
made a
name,
passing
that's the name of
comment.
the episode.
We're not doing that, bro. We ain't doing that, man.
Pete the Feet.
We are not doing that.
Not sure what value I can add to this. Me, I take women as beautiful on the inside.
All right, Pete the Feet. What are
Yeah.
your?
Bro,
What
see,
are
I'm not
your?
answering to that, bro.
What is your?
Why?
Can I ask a question?
I've literally just said freckles, ginger hair,
Can I ask a question?
dimples.
Can I ask a question? Seriously.
Go on.
What is your favorite toe?
Has to be the big toe, innit?
I swear. Is that the most important one?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, because if the big toes like mash up, then the following toes will probably be mash up too.
But what if she's got a mash up big toe, but all the rest are on point?
You rarely see that.
No, I'll be honest. The pinky, is that the piggy? The pinky?
Pinky.
The small one. That's the one where it can go very lopsided. If that one's in good, if that one's in good condition, as an opposite to Peter's point, if that piggy is in condition, then the rest are probably lit as well. So that's the one you need to take care of.
That's
the one.
that's the easiest one to look good though.
That's no, I don't think it is.
I
That's
think
the
it
one
is,
that's
'cause
under
it's the
most
smallest one.
duress. Because that's the one that's squeezing into shit. Like at the end of the that's the one that's under the most duress. If that
but it's
one's
the
taken
smallest
care
one.
of, yeah.
It's the smallest one, so there's a lot less to do.
Yeah, but shoes are made to accommodate the sort of front four. As you get to the end of the shoe, it's the little piggy there. That's the one. Like, do you not remember when they when Sex and the City made like Manolo Blahniks like mad popular, and there were all these cases of like women like chopping off their little pinky so that they can get into these very narrow shoes. Bruv, you got to keep that pinky.
But
like,
what if she's got 4 beautiful toes and a wide sole? It's not her fault that the modern shoe doesn't fit her foot type.
Yeah,
She can get it fixed.
yeah. I once bought a.
The shoe or the foot?
Yeah. Yeah, I once bought a missus like a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes, and she couldn't get into them because her feet were wide.
She wide soled. Her
Humbling.
thoughts and prayers with her.
But yeah, no, very
Do you
very
think
good.
women think about men's feet like this?
No, I think more. I think women are less into feet than men are,
I think
like, and
so.
I mean that quite
I
seriously.
do not understand where the foot things come from.
I don't understand it either, bro. It just hit
It's
me out of
Zavi.
nowhere.
It's Zavi. It's Zavi's
Yeah,
influence.
it's
It's Zavi's cultural
100%,
maybe.
bro.
Oh, I do art shows in Soho House. Don't shit. His real lasting legacy is feet fetish.
Zab's a whole nother level, though.
Yeah.
He'll break down the science, the
Yeah.
structure of the
He
foot.
sent charts. We
the
got
arch
charts.
of
We
the
got
foot.
pictures.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got charts.
Zav sent us a picture of different types of toe shapes.
Yeah.
And they've got really random names like the Egyptian
Yeah,
or
there's a
the
Greek
Irish
one,
or the Greek.
Egyptian, Greek, and Roman.
You know, ones where the second toe is bigger than the
Yeah.
than the first toe.
Yeah.
Smaller than the first
Oh,
toe.
I've got a common family trait though, where my second toe is longer than my big toe.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. It's kind of nasty still, but we've all got it in the family, so it's blessed.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would never get Julia Fox. Anyway, we don't have a great deal more to talk about. We're going to do something different this week
Jeez.
for relationship advice. In that we're not going to take a submission from our listeners. We're actually going to unpack.
Well, it is a submission from a listener.
predicament from
in a
our
sense.
guest.
Yes.
My brother, my actual brother, Peter Abiade.
Pete the
Oh,
feet.
man.
Tell us what's going on, bro.
Bruv, so basically, one day, an old friend popped up. You know, we got to catching up and stuff. And we're like, you know what, it'll be nice to get together and, you know, have a little catch up. Bear in mind, she's got a boyfriend. So I wasn't thinking anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, I had a little bit of a crush on her. You know, we used to
Okay.
work together and stuff.
That's why you stayed in touch, yeah.
But nothing ever happened. So I was like, yeah, good to see you, man. You know what I mean? So we decided to go to Blue's Kitchen in Shoreditch.
Shout out.
While she had a man.
Good spot.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, could be friends.
They're dating.
Long game, Pete.
They've been dating. Pete the feet.
So
Pete the feet
I
on
get that.
toes.
We're not doing that, Peter feet. We're not, absolutely not doing that.
It's
That's
done.
got to become a thing.
It's
I don't want
already
it.
done.
So I get to Blue's Kitchen. I'm early. She then messages me and says she's running late. So I'm sitting there at my table by myself, having a couple drinks, and I notice there's a really attractive waitress.
Okay.
And I'm just noticing her, and she's noticing me, noticing her. And we just have this eye thing going on, you know?
It's got all the makings of an R&B
He's so
video.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Come on.
Yeah, he's the most R&B guy I've ever met in my life. Yeah, like, anyway.
So I order a drink, and she just so happens to be the person that's waiting on me. So she comes over.
What a coincidence.
You know what I mean? We lock eyes, and you know, we're staring intensely into each other's eyes and that, but we don't really say much.
Intensely.
Apart from her taking my
Brother,
order.
it is R&B, isn't it?
Hey, man, eye contact is important.
Just sing the story, bro. I know you want to, fam.
If I can sing, I would. But we don't say much other than the order. So
Okay.
she brings me, you know, my drink, and then she goes away. I'm still waiting. My friend is still very late. So I order another drink. And this time, when the hostess comes over, you know, I'll take this opportunity to talk to her a little bit. So I noticed she had like an African necklace on, which, you know.
Yeah,
really caught my eye.
you're African, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's a really nice necklace. She was like,
I'm
oh,
from
yeah.
there, yeah.
She was like, oh yeah, thank you, I really appreciate that. And she, you know, really, she was a gorgeous girl. So we just got to talking a little bit. And then
Are you just totally boring off the girl that you've actually come to?
She
She's
hasn't-
not there yet.
I'm-
She's not there
she's
yet.
late.
Oh,
She's still late.
Oh, she's late.
she's like an hour late.
Oh, right.
Mad late. So
Right.
I mean, shit. Might as well like, you know, fill up my time with something.
100.
Yeah.
So cool. Get my first drink. The girl goes away. I order another drink. So when she comes back, I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? Now I'm gonna try and put it on her a little bit. So I start
Okay.
talking to her. You know what I mean? You got a man, it's a situation.
Is it raining outside?
Yeah, it's wet.
It's an R&B
So
video.
it was raining and then it stopped.
Oh.
See, when you said that, now I'm thinking like Ray J, One Wish.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
had that in
yeah.
my mind, didn't it? Do you know what I mean?
One wish.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so you know, what I mean, start spitting a little bit of game and that, try and get to know her, see where she's at.
Is she
And
wearing
then,
open toe shoes?
No, she
Oh.
wasn't.
She was working. She was
Her
working.
feet were covered.
Working
She's
sandals.
working. She's probably wearing like black Air Force Ones. Let's be honest.
Don't do that. So I start, you know, asking about, you know, whether she's seeing anyone and, you know, the possibility of taking her number. And then she was like, yeah, you know what, I could give you my number. She was like, but wait, are you on a date? And I was like, no, I'm not on a date. She was like, are you sure? I was like, no, not at all. I'm just waiting for a female friend of mine. She's like, okay, that's fine. I understand. I've got loads of males that are friends. So I was like, all right, cool. So she gives me her number. Maybe like 10 minutes later, my friend finally arrives. Like an hour and a half late, she finally arrives and she's looking fire as well. So it was cool. So, you know, we start talking and that. And as we're like, you know, becoming acquainted in that, I see the hostess like to the left of me. And I just feel her eyes in our direction. It's like piercing in our direction. But I'm not thinking anything of it because I've got nothing to hide. I haven't lied. I'm not on a date.
Yeah, yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So fast forwarding a little bit, you know, me and my friend, you know, getting to know each other again and just, you know, catching up and stuff. And then we order food, right? And it's not the hostess that I've been chatting to that takes order, it's somebody else. Now, I must have missed this, but at some point during that exchange where our hostess is taking our order, I think she might have said to the girl that was taking our order that we're on a date. Now, that was news to me, but I didn't really hear it properly.
boy.
So fast forwarding a bit, we get our food and now we eat it, it's fine. I then need to go to the toilet, right? As I'm coming back from the toilet, I noticed that the hostess whose number I got has suddenly like swiftly walked away from the table that I was at.
Okay.
So she was talking to my friend. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Problems.
I'm not thinking anything of it. I get back to the table now. Not knowing that anything has actually happened. And, you know, the night goes on, we're having a good time. It's finally time to pay for the bill. And the hostess whose number I got came over and she was the one that billed us up.
Okay.
And I'm noticing she's not looking at me. She's just looking at my friend. Acting as though I'm not even there. And I'm trying to catch her eye. You know them ones where you're trying to catch the eye, smile a little bit, just still keep the base warm in that. She's not giving me nothing.
Jeez.
Pay for the bill and that. And then like, the hostess says bye, but she doesn't say it to me. She says it to my friend.
Mazza.
So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, something's not right here. But anyway, we go, it's fine. And I said to my friend, yo, like, did she just say bye to me or did she say bye to like both of us? And then,
Peter's rattled.
yeah, so my friend was like, oh yeah, no, like she definitely just said bye to me.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, that happens and that's done. And then I'm texting Rich and Yemi about this, and they're like, "Don't worry, it's fine. Don't sweat it." The next day, I decide to text the hostess.
Okay.
Oh, it was nice seeing you. I hope I hope I hope your shift wasn't too bad. And then she was like, "You lied.
Oh.
Your friend said you were on a date."
Oh my God, what?
So I'm thinking, wait, what? What are you talking about? I'm not on a date.
that's a stitch
How
up.
are you telling me I'm on a date? I would know if I'm on a date.
That's a stitch up.
So then I messaged my friend. I was like, "Yo, did you you can believe that? Did you?"
Shit.
I wasn't supposed to say her name. I was like, "Yo, did you say we were on a date?" She was like, "No." She was like, "Well, the girl, the hostess, I got her number and she said that you said that we were on a date." And she was like, "No, that's not what happened. I said that you used to like me." So I was like, "Why
Mass.
did you feel the need to say that?"
That's a stitch up.
And then she was like, "I mean, because you did." I was like, "Okay."
Oh.
I was like, "Yeah, but why was that relevant?" She was like, "Oh, what? Did I mess you up with that girl?" I was like, "Yeah, no shit. You definitely messed me up with that girl." She was like, "Well," and then my friend was like, "Well, I think it's a bit snaky that you tried to get her number before I arrived."
So just to be just so I remember correctly.
Yes.
She has a boyfriend.
Yes.
And you guys were meeting
As friends.
Yes.
And she still cockblocked you.
Yeah.
with
Haram.
Yeah.
Haram.
Yeah. And so she was kind of like, "Yeah, well, I think it's a bit snaky that you tried to get her number." And I was like, "Yeah, okay. You have a boyfriend. I didn't think
And
this
she was
a
an
date."
hour late. The only reason you chirped
An hour
is
and a
she was
half late.
She was an hour
Hour
and
and
a
a
half.
half,
The only
yeah.
reason you chirped is because she wasn't on time.
Can you imagine?
Fam.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? So I'm like, "Okay, like you've got a boyfriend. I didn't think this was a date."
No,
she was like,
this bit I need to investigate. For why is she upset that you're drawing another number anyway?
"Bro, I have no idea."
Oh my days.
But the damage is done. She actually stops responding to me. So she doesn't feel the need to explain herself and the ruckus that she has caused.
It was a date. She was cheating on a man.
So I'm like, fine, all right, cool. You know what? I'm not going
It
to
was
get
a
any
date.
answers from you. So let me go back and see if I can work some magic with, the other girl. So
I'm
Rich
gonna-
is giving me a pep talk on, what I can say to fix this.
I'm gonna interrupt here. I'm
Go
gonna
on.
interrupt here quickly just to say you're the only person in that situation didn't think you're on a date.
Yeah. Facts. She was cheating on her man.
Yeah,
with
she was
you.
cheating on her man that night. That's why she turned up looking for her.
Yep.
She's upset you're getting another number. You're the only person who didn't think
And
you were on a
that's
date.
not even the worst thing in the world because I probably would have gone ahead with it if I'd known.
She's
I probably shouldn't admit that.
Carry on with the story. Black men don't cheat. But
No, we
they
don't.
do fuck other people's misses.
You said it, not me. But yeah, so she had stopped responding to me. So I thought, you know what? Let me see if I can rectify the situation with the hostess. So we were messaging. She was just like, I'm not here for this. This is way too messy for me. You lied. I'm like, why is it you're automatically taking her word over mine?
When they use the word
I
messy.
saw you lot doing girl power in that, but I've got no reason to lie to you.
When they use the word messy, it's game over.
She just wasn't having it. She was just like, "I'm sorry, I'm not here for this. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop responding to you now." And that was literally it. And I haven't been back to Blue's Kitchen since. And this happened bro. This happened like 3 years ago. I haven't been back
way.
since.
What about the friend? Have you?
I haven't spoken to her since.
Do we know if she's still with her man?
I have no idea, bro.
There's got to be a way
Would
to
it
find
change things if you found out she was single again?
No.
out. No, that's a bridge burn.
No, it wouldn't.
That's a bridge
Yeah,
burn.
we don't talk no more.
Yeah, the thing is about like men and burn bridges is,
You can rebuild them.
they get rebuilt very quick.
Chop them
I'm
up.
telling you. So what would you guys have done in that situation?
Jesus. I need what is the third word? What is the third word for a shot?
Pappy.
Yeah, papi, vamos. Give it.
Fam,
I need a shot for
we need
this
the
one.
brandy.
Fam, I took L's from all angles in
Yeah,
that
no,
situation
that-
because
I
I
need a
can't
shot
go
for the
back to a
story.
place that I really like. I no longer have that friendship, and I didn't get the girl of my dreams.
Do you know how mad
Mad
that is?
L's. Because I legit thought she was the one.
Okay,
Like, women go from like really, really.
How big is this shot?
Yeah, take it. Women go from like hating each other within an inch of their lives to having this weird sort of like Spice Girl solidarity. You caught them on a good day apparently.
Okay, look. So
and they
basically,
fucked up your whole shit.
I think
You ended up with neither.
I think the way we're going to approach.
Ah, see, Freudian.
The way we're going to culturally steal this, the way we're going to analyze the situation is, there's no point doing post game. So I think it's prudent that we revise Pete the Feet's tactics during the date.
So would you not have spoken to the hostess?
No, you had to have spoken to the
Okay.
hostess. You're single.
So-
You're out here.
So
What was it? A Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday's the new Friday, B.
Actually, no, it was a Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So when you agreed to meet up with Mrs. Lover Lover,
Yes.
What did you know about her relationship with her man at the time?
Just that they were a bit rocky, but they were still in a relationship.
Richard, can you claim your brother, please?
What do you mean?
Can you
What's that got to do with
can
me?
you claim your brother, please?
What's that got to do with me?
The next question I got. So you met a girl who knows that you used to like her, who you also knew was currently rocky with her man.
Yes.
And she turned up looking fire.
Fire.
He still doesn't get it. He still doesn't get it.
I think that's where I went wrong though, because she looked so fire. The hostess was thinking this cannot not be a date.
It's not. Leave the hostess.
And I was also looking spectacular as well.
Leave the hostess.
So that's probably what done it.
still doesn't get it.
If I was looking like bummish, then she would have thought, there's no way he's on a date. But because I was looking like so good,
He
she
still
was
doesn't
like,
get it.
there's no way he's not on a date.
Puppy, you're self-analyzing. Yeah, I know.
Can we have the brandy?
You are self-analyzing.
Where's the brandy now?
Okay, so where did I go wrong?
Where you went wrong is that
I think at every stage of
at
this, to
every
be fair.
fucking stage possible. So you went on boozy drinks
Yeah.
with a girl.
Yeah.
Why give me the bottle, not the shot? What's wrong with you? You went on boozy drinks with a girl
Yes.
who you used to like,
Right.
who knows that you used to like her,
Yeah.
who's currently in a rocky relationship with another fella,
Yeah.
and she turned up looking fire,
Yeah.
and you didn't think that she might be into you.
No. Maybe she always looks fire. Girls don't always look fire for men, you know. They do it for themselves.
Okay, fine. So she turned up an hour and a half late. When she turned up late, what was her demeanor? Was she apologetic?
Yeah, very
Did she
apologetic,
own
very
it?
touchy-feely.
Did she explain why she was late?
I can't remember. I think she did. She must have, because I would have been pissed.
What do you remember?
Yeah, I remember just being very apologetic, her having issues with transport. I was a bit annoyed, but because I had met the hostess, I was, do you know what I mean? I was
Your mind
okay.
was scrambled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so when you started talking, what was the kind of things you were talking about? Was
Just
it like old
life.
memories or like...
Yeah, just catching up on old times,
Okay.
finding out what she's been up to, what I've been up to.
And in hindsight, was there a bit of fuego chat going on? Was there a bit of flirting happening?
Yeah, always, because I'm a flirt.
Was she
Yeah,
responding to the flirtation?
Yeah, because I got sauce.
This
Richard, please.
yeah, because I got sauce.
Talk to your brother.
Johnny, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
This
I
guy
don't-
drives
I don't know
through
if
red
this-
lights,
I don't
bruv.
know if it's just like birthday vibes, but you're being very nice indulging this fuckery.
I'm trying to get him to understand it himself.
Wait, what did I do wrong? I don't get it.
Yeah, indulging this fuckery right here, yeah.
Bruv, you drove through a red
think-
light, bruv. You
How?
went straight past the stop sign.
I don't get how.
What I would say though
Yeah.
is
This woman turned up to cheat, or that's what you missed. She came to fuck you.
she definitely.
But I
showed
wasn't
up.
here for that, though.
She definitely showed up to cheat, bro.
She showed up to cheat.
Yeah.
I didn't finish the whole story, did I? So when we left, and I was walking her to the bus stop.
Jesus, I'm doing the shot now.
You know, we were hugging and stuff, and there might have been a little bit of kissing on
You
the
see
neck.
how adding to, you see how adding to the story is not just like an it's an Abiade trait apparently.
You people are so hard-headed.
There might have been a little bit of
You people.
All three of
hugging.
you.
You people. Anyway,
That's right.
wild.
There might have been a little bit of cuddling, a little bit of, kissing on necks,
So your
nibbling
lips-
on ears.
oh my
That's
days.
mad, Pete.
There might have been a little bit of that. But before that, I wasn't to know it was a date.
Do you and look, my most toxic side is about to enter the chat.
Please, welcome.
Do you still have the number of the waitress?
No.
Oh, shit. I was gonna say you
We
should
could've
send her a
called her right
text.
now.
She blocked me.
I would have.
Oh.
Yeah, we could
Yeah,
have.
she
I was
blocked
gonna. Yeah, maybe we could have called her now, but
She blocked you. She blocked you
What I was
'cause you
gonna
were on a
say, is
date?
you could send her a text saying, it's been 3 years and I've been thinking about all the ways that I could have handled that situation better. How about we talk about it? Are you still at the Blues Kitchen? You finishing your shift soon?
In that voice.
I'll be right there. Yeah, it's like very like Boys to Men end of the road. What's the name of that guy with the deep voice? After verse 2.
Wanye.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have just or maybe send her a voice note.
That'll work.
Either way, Pete,
Yes, sir.
I think you have to take the L on this one, bro.
I mean,
Yeah.
shit.
Maybe read between the lines.
All right. I'll try it, but I don't think it was obvious.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, look.
I was respecting her relationship.
Looking. Yeah.
Up
She
until the point.
wasn't. That's the irony.
Up until the point I was nibbling on her ear.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to having less problematic submissions in the future. I
think this is
apologize
mad.
for my bloodline.
This is mad. This is
Right
mad.
now.
This is the first relationship advice scenario where everyone lost.
Yeah.
Everyone
Literally.
lost.
But yeah, I think we're pretty much done. I want to say an RIP to Yasmin Chikaifi, who was stabbed to death in Maida Vale in London earlier this week. I don't want to bring the tone down so dramatically. My segues are a bit mad this week. Blame it on the whiskey. But the motorist who we only know as Abraham, who ran over Yasmin's murderer, who was also her ex-partner, is currently about to be charged with murder. And I think we've touched upon some of the egregious bullshit that the Met seems to be on these days, but this is just another example of where an injustice is potentially about to occur. So if you see petitions, if you see any way in which you can impose your voice on that situation, please do. He put out a statement this week saying he was trying to save a life and ended up taking one. And, you know, all I want to say is that, like, I would have done the exact same thing. So the person that we know is Abraham. We stand in solidarity. R.I.P. to Yasmin. You know, burn in hell to the guy who stabbed her to death. And then lastly, because again, my segues are mad, we're going to do new music with Pete. What have you been listening to?
Benji Flow. Big up Benji Flow.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, he dropped his new EP was actually released today called The Thrill.
Yes.
So I've been listening to that today. Which
is it good?
Yeah, it's fire.
Yeah.
Fire, man. He's
I found
super
out it was
talented,
out
man.
just before we hit record. So
Yeah.
He's fire, man.
Yeah. I've been listening to Benny the Butcher and J. Cole. They
course you
released
have.
a song today.
Oh wow.
Called Johnny P's Caddy.
Okay.
I'm not sure who Johnny P is, but
Johnny.
You did that Push and P thing. I don't really understand what it is.
I don't know what
I don't know
that
what Push and
means.
P means.
I'm still
sorry.
trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Who cares? It just it's cool to say, isn't it?
Is it?
Sometimes I just don't even like. I don't care. Sometimes it just sounds cool to say.
I don't think
That's
it does.
P, bro.
Yeah, I don't get it.
That's P.
P and feet, I don't get them.
That's his whole existence.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So Johnny P's thing. What was it good?
Johnny P's Caddy.
Johnny P's caddy.
Yeah.
It's the
Fire
10, it's the
song,
10
J.
Toes
Cole.
EP.
J. Cole killed his verse. Benny the
yeah.
Butcher does what he does. So very good track, so check it out.
Yeah.
And also Koji Radical and Nux.
Another friend of the show.
They dropped a song, I believe it might have been last week, called Payback.
Don't know.
The video's out as well, so yeah, check that out. That's a
Okay.
really dope song. I think Koji's album's due to come in March.
Yes.
So really looking forward to that. But yeah, today's been like a real slow release day. There hasn't been much else, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And remind the people how they can find you, listen to you, man, before we wrap up.
Well, you can't find me because I'm not on socials, is it? Man's a bit too cool for that, you know what I mean?
Lock off.
But no, you can follow us on Instagram, Rhymes Dimes Pod on Instagram and Twitter as well. And yeah, man, just get at us, man. You know what I mean?
Don't know. Thanks you very much for being on the show, bro.
Thanks for having me, man. It was nice to kind of really experience this in the flesh.
Yeah.
What was it like? How's it compared to Rhymes?
I felt a bit more free.
Oh, you did?
Because
yeah.
we're
'cause
so
you're-
restricted
yeah,
to
you're
like
limited to
music
hip-hop.
here.
Yeah.
I feel like,
100%.
I could really just come here and just talk shit.
Yeah.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
That's what we're about.
Yeah.
And being in front of Johnny and like debating with Johnny was like, it was fun.
Yeah.
It felt quite fun, but intimidating at the same time, man.
Why?
Especially on the politics shit. I was just listening to him. It's just like, yo, this guy's like, he knows his shit.
Yeah, 100%.
It's all gas.
Just
really.
knows nothing about anything else. Shout out to all of our listeners. We are 33 episodes deep. You don't know where we are always. This could end terribly. We are out. Happy birthday to man like Johnny Vivas. We're going to be...
Happy birthday, bruv.
In about 24 hours, we're going to be very lit.
I'm already lit, but
Swear
Poppy's
down.
going to be lit again.
Don't know. Big up.
Big up.
Bye.